this campaign is designed specifically to be only 4 sessions long.
Right.
Okay. By the way, I have to ask you, does my microphone pop? Do you hear a popping sound?
I don't.
No.
Popping sound. No.
Okay, okay, let me talk for an extended period of time, just as I am doing right now. Is there anything popping?
No, I'm not hearing any pops.
Nope. Okay.
Slight bits of robots, but not
It's
pops.
It's 1924. It's way too early for pop.
It's not. Is it too early for popcorn, though?
I do not know.
Let's to the Google machine! Okay, so I am not doing a test recording because we started streaming already, so I have to trust your opinion on the matter.
No, it is. No, it isn't. Earliest proof of the existence of popcorn has been found in Mexico 3600 BC.
Well, I guess that settles it then.
Okay.
We have popcorn.
Yes.
I have apple cider.
We shall bring the popcorn. We shall bring the popcorn to our circus attractions and our freak shows and our flying elephants.
Okay, let's go watch live action Dumbo.
Let's go. We should probably start this.
You have killed this session single-handedly.
Well, we are talking about eldritch horrors here.
Okay, but you know, the difference is that those are likable compared to Dumbo.
Wow. Okay. So, all the PCs have gotten a specific letter. One of them got a variant of it because he is the only one that decided to actually come from America instead of, overseas.
For various reasons.
Yes. So, because of that, the goal of the letter is pretty much the same, though. So we will start with the 3 coming via boat.
Yes! Yes, I knew the boat would be useful. Oh, come on, I have a boat. Let me use my boat.
Is it the crew? Is it the passenger line?
No, it's
just a passenger liner that you took.
It's boat. It's just boat.
So who's the 3 on the boat then?
Okay, the 3 on the boat are going to be. Well, actually, I guess the ability it would be a good opportunity for you to roleplay with each other since you're going to be on board a boat for a long period of time. And aboard this boat is Gaston.
Gaston.
No
Ivan
one.
and Ursula.
Yep.
Are you actually freaking kidding me?
Nope.
You know, I was at the beginning of this session. I was joking about Madhog cosplaying as Ursula. That wasn't meant to be.
Ursula is not my character.
Ursula's my character.
I figured that much out already.
So yeah, I'm Gaston.
And I guess I'm just navigates like Gaston. No one breaks the fourth wall like Gaston. This game is going down to the drain right now.
Okay, so I'm going to open the scene on when you are maybe about half a day out from reaching port. You start to see an unusual cloud overhead. And it seems to be getting darker and thicker the closer that you seem to be getting to your destination. Just staring at this cloud makes you feel ill at ease. Like the hairs on the back of your neck will start to stand on end for no logical reason. Most of the individuals on the boat seem to be actively trying to avoid looking at the sky. Many of them have gone below deck at this point.
So who wants to start?
Well, I'm gonna add one detail about Gaston so far is that basically He's probably outside smoking a cigarette as we speak.
As you do in the 1920s while on a boat. Yes.
Okay, so let's see. So I know I'm here and Danton's Ursula's here. Who was the third one you said again, Ross?
Ivan.
Ivan.
Actually, it is pronounced Ivan. Thank you very much.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
you mean
Ivan.
Oh, you mean Evan?
No, it's Ivan, but the pronunciation is not American. You know? It's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah, that's why one of the pretty much slur words for Russians in Finland is Ivana.
Ivan Boskonovich.
Well, I did not know that, but that makes it more interesting because Ivan has a sort of unclear but very much implied Russian origin, and Ivan is very obviously a pseudonym, as you all have automatically gathered when you met him the first time, since he introduced himself with the name Ivan and nothing else.
So
Right.
none of
Okay,
you have
so-
surnames.
I do.
I do. I have a surname. I'll
Okay, so
introduce that
just
later.
wanted to let
Oh.
you know a cool thing if you wish to use it. The 1920s slang term for cigarette could either be a butt or a gasper.
Yes.
A gasper.
Yes.
I think I prefer the term gasper.
Yeah, I think I know. I think I knew about that. That's
Yeah,
fun.
I knew butt was one.
I knew butt was one, but it's just it doesn't sound. It doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, we all know what you're saying.
Yeah,
You just like the word because it sounds ridiculous, fake, and fancy.
So, I'm just going to basically just say this then. Ursula Lockhart is, she's a red-haired woman with light blue
You!
shirt with a knee-high skirt, brown stockings, a light blue jacket, a pair of white gloves, and a dark blue hat with a colourful feather sticking out of it. And right now she is just basically trying to write something, and she's like not looking very happy, and she screws up the piece of paper and chucks it in a nearby bin.
Are you in it? Is this some kind of prequel to Harry Potter?
No, she's actually wearing the typical 1920s high-class lady garb.
No, Lockhart. Gilderoy Lockhart.
What are you saying? I thought of Amelia Lockhart, or which is not Lockhart. It's okay.
I just took the name A because it's basically like Tifa Lockhart from Fantasy VII, and B, it was in the book, so I was using it. That's why I'm using Ursula, because it's in the book as a recommended name.
Well, I thought you were related to Amelia for a moment there, but Lockhart was not the surname.
I think it's Amelia Earhart.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Amelia Earhart, but Lockhart was similar, so it had me going on a journey for a moment. I had a Galaxy Brain meme right in front of me for a moment.
So as for Gaston, I should say he looks like a typical
Gaston.
short-haired man. He doesn't look like he has that much of a big build going on. Not as big as Gaston.
So he's
But-
actually Gaston from France.
So essentially, he's wearing a normal pair of trousers, some black shoes, a navy blue shirt with a brown jacket on, a vest, I should say. You know, those brown vests that are sleeveless. Yeah, if I'm getting it right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and he's basically smoking a cigarette. He has a goatee as well. I should probably say, just a bit of a beard on him,
Evil.
and he's basically looking around and just says nonchalantly like, "Ah, the clouds are so dark."
Hello, Monsieur Poirot.
He's not French, he's Belgian.
Oh, hello, Monsieur Perrault.
I believe this is a good time for all of us make our own disclaimer that even though we are playing different characters of different possible nationalities and heritages, this is not meant to be used as us mocking them. And if we get things wrong, that means that that is not intentional. We have simply failed in our own research.
Well, that and plus I'm kind of, for French accents, I'm kind of copying the way the British comedy Hello Hello copied the French accent.
So this goes
It was not flattering.
immediately against that statement and disclaimer. That's good to know.
Well, I am more worried about my character because someone might take an offense, though I need to try to do my research to not get any cultural things wrong.
Okay, this
If they come up.
This smells of cultural appropriation, and I am watching you, young man.
Ross, important question. Do the three on the boat know each other already, or are they just still strangers at this point?
That is up to you. You could have met earlier. I mean, it is a passenger ship, so it's not like you're the only ones on board. Let's see.
Well, I said already that Ivan has presented himself to them, so I would argue that we met already.
Okay, let me just see if
is this
specifically
Ivan?
for
What?
Let's just see if for Gaston and Ursula, if the reputations preceded them.
All right.
So I'm rolling a random dice check to see if the other player characters would have heard from them just by reputation. So let's see. They definitely have heard of Ursula.
Wow, really?
Apparently you have published some international bestsellers.
Oh.
Wow. Really? Wow.
That's what my dice roll says, so go with it.
Nice.
I mean, it must have been accidental if she forgot that she's sold them.
Her agent handled all of that stuff.
I'm just gonna say that.
And no one knows who the heck Gaston is.
No
one knows who Gaston is.
No one cares about Gaston.
Like, okay, so here's how this went. Ursula got 19. Gaston got 1.
And how about Ivan?
Oh, let me roll for Ivan. Though, to be fair, I don't know why your reputation would potentially precede you, but we'll see.
Well, I think he might have a reputation amongst the seamen. As in sea-men.
No, unfortunately, they do not know you by reputation.
That's good. That's what he wants.
Whose boat is that? Is this then?
It's my boat.
Passenger ship.
It has to be my boat. I took it over. I'm the captain now.
No, it's not your boat.
It's my boat. All boats are mine.
And then he crashes it for no reason.
Okay, I might as well describe what my character is doing, since we're all free on the poop deck, it would seem.
Yeah.
So my character
You better not be pooping.
It's called the poop deck. I did not make the rules of the English language.
You're right, you didn't, but still I'm watching you.
Oh boy. I feel so wanted. Anyway, so my character is on the very tippy top of the poop deck, looking at the skies above, contemplating, is smoking a Popeye-style pipe, because seaman and all that, and is very much dressed like your typical, almost stereotypical sea dog. Imaging how Captain McAllister is dressed, that's the most common denominator when it comes to mercantile, independent man, veteran grizzly man of the sea. Also, he has a neat little captain hat, for good measure. It's Popeye, essentially, in that sense. Popeye and Captain McAllister fused together. Yes, that's how I imagine him. So he was actually looking up at the sky, but now he took a step back and started reading his favorite book.
Is it Moby Dick?
No, it's 10 ways. No, how not to get pregnant by by Ursula Lockhart. Her most famous novel, best-selling.
That's not my book. Also, if it is my book, be known that my pen name is Constance.
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 Oh, Constant Slaughter.
Constant Slaughter!
By the way, the book also says this is a valid...
I'm sorry, I could not
You're
hear
breaking
you.
up, Dante.
Yes, you are breaking out.
Apparently, the Call of Cthulhu book also says that as a consistent name for a player character.
Of course it does.
Also, yes, we shall all heed the Call of Cthulhu tonight. Yoo-hoo! That's the Call of Cthulhu.
You don't yoo-hoo as well as Dantan does.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
Yeah!
Oh
Yeah.
yeah?
Oh,
Oh yeah? Oh yeah?
Yeah!
No.
Yeah!
So Captain, Ivan. So something that was peculiar about Ivan, as you noticed the first time you met him, is that he's not a man of many words. He's relatively quiet. He tends to communicate with 1 or 2 words at a time. He's not one to waste breath, unlike all of us, clearly.
He's
Yes.
a man of few words.
A man of few words. He's been toughened and grizzled by years being out in the sea and whatever complicated circumstance he has. But the most interesting aspect about him actually has nothing to do with him himself. It has to do with the weird, unsettling, somewhat disconcerting creature, horrible being that resides on his shoulder. On a distant look, it might seem like an unusually large parrot. On a closer look, you might notice that it's an unusually horrible parrot. Very disheveled, some feathers are missing. It looks like it's the spawn of the devil, if the devil was a bird. Red eyes and all that. It's very unsettling to look at. You cannot quite make what's the deal with this particular animal. However,
What's the deal with this parrot? Okay, sorry.
Yes, well, let's wait a few decades for that. And something else curious about this parrot, question mark, is that his beak appears to be sealed by a piece of cloth. You do not know why the beak has been sealed, but you can only imagine what the circumstances of such occurrence might be. Ivan did not explain to you why that is the case, and I'm sure you asked about him. Or not, depends if you did, it's your choice, really. Okay, roll for that, Ross. Did they ask about it, or did they just try to pretend
that's
not to
That
know?
is completely up to them.
Yes.
So it's up to you to decide if you asked or if you've tried not to ask out of minding your own business.
I actually probably would have had.
What?
Jevar, you are
We
cutting
broke
out.
up a little bit.
So if Discord is the call of Cthulhu, then we're all dying already.
Yay!
My parrot. Not the red.
Oh my god.
Oh my, you are breaking up, Jevar. What does Discord have against British?
I have no idea.
I mean, aside from the usual.
Anyway, as I was about to say, I think my character probably would have looked to your parrot and just basically analyzed the artistic merit that goes into this getup.
Okay, did you share your artistic merits opinions with the class? Well,
The parrot has been. The beak has been tied, as it means to say, it is covering up the. I'm trying to think how to say this now. It's silencing the honesty within the human heart that betrays the lies that you spout.
and to that Ivan says, Parrot won't shut up.
Or that, I guess.
Oh, and by the way, I just noticed I look at the clock, at the watch, the pocket watch that I don't have, and I realized it's feeding time for the parrot. But before that...
You have a clock tattooed on your biceps.
Sure, and it moves like a regular clock.
No.
Yeah, when you flex.
Oh my gosh. So it's always feeding time. So before feeding the parrot, Ivan is going to close the book, which is... We still have not determined what the title of the book is, but it's from Miss Lockhart. He actually did get an autograph from her.
You mean Constant Slaughter?
From Constant Slaughter. Actually, would not know she's Constant Slaughter, so never mind that subplot. But anyway, so before he feeds the parrot, he just will try to approach the two of you and give you each a pair of earplugs. Do you choose to put on the earplugs?
Are you trying to oversell your character again?
No, I am serious, and Ross is aware of this. So, do you want to put on your earplugs or not?
Well, I guess I should if you're offering.
Why do I need earplugs?
Parrot. Feeding time. It talks a lot.
Fine. Put on the earplugs.
Yes, the earplugs are in.
Good,
Just
good.
to humor you. Just to humor you.
Yes, you did a good thing. So I put on my own earplugs and I carefully remove the piece of cloth sealing the parrot's beak. So, since you have your earplugs on, you are not able to make up what actually comes out of the parrot's beak. It's all muffled. But, well, Well, I would like to say, Ross, can you allow me to ask them if they can make a roll to actually intuit or have a basic understanding or an idea of what the parrot might or might not be saying?
I'm going to say in this case no, because
Okay.
I know what you're trying to do.
No, I'm trying...
Latu, Baraka,
No,
Nikto.
I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to see if they in characters are taking this parrot thing seriously or not.
Well, your earplugs are good enough that they cannot hear.
Okay, so he's going to feed the parrot. You can see, if you bother to look his way, his general direction, you can see that Ivan's face is producing some sort of subtle flinch. It's very subtle, you blink and you might miss it, but he seems to be encumbered by something as he feeds the parrot literal pieces, slabs of meat, which it proceeds to consume with voracity. Amidst the incessant squeaking that you are capable of seeing it's doing, even though you cannot fully hear it. After that is done and the cloth comes back to seal the beak, you are free to remove the earplugs. What? We can do that joke if you want, but this is supposed to be serious.
What?
Well,
What?
I haven't seen a single serious character yet.
I'm serious.
Yes, you're seriously...
Yes, Gaston, with the French accent,
Well, technically...
talking about artistic merits of a demon parrot.
Well, listen, technically the characters might be serious. It is us who are not.
That is a legit criticism.
So yeah, I'm basically going to say to Even is am I saying that right? Ivan. I'm basically going like. By the way, the book you're reading, I would highly recommend The Breast of Tiresias, a much more thought-provoking literacy work, if I do say so myself.
No,
You see that he takes a. You can see he takes a bit of a drag of his gasper and then just does puffs of rings, like in a very meticulous fashion.
not interested in values of narrative. I read not to lose mind.
Interesting answer.
Is very, very alone. The parrot doesn't count, believe me.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Yeah, so I take out the earplugs and I'm just gonna go like, "You're a very odd fellow, Mr. Ivan."
He nods towards your general direction, acknowledging the compliment.
She just instantly starts writing with a fountain pen and paper, basically, very furiously, as if she's just been inspired.
The parrot is going to fly to your shoulder to look at what you're writing. It's a very curious parrot, like George.
George the monkey, yes.
I actually, I think the name I gave the parrot was something along the lines of Hellspawn, but I forgot. So we should actually decide the name for the parrot. Do we do it right now?
It seems to be your thing, really.
No,
Yeah.
I don't have a name for it. I want us to decide. It would be funny.
Why don't we let the audience decide?
Do we have an audience to decide? Because that's always the problem.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment, but someone.
Well,
may
maybe later then. For now, it is just parrot.
Yes.
For a long.
Yes. So, like I said, the parrot is looking intently at what you are writing down. What are you going to do?
Very curious fellow, isn't it?
Yeah.
What?
Oh,
Cutting
wow.
out again, Devar.
I said very curious fellow.
No, not you, Danton.
Danton was the one that was talking before.
Yes.
Well, parrot looks at you, then flies back to Ivan, and attempts to whisper something in his ear, but he can't because he has a piece of cloth sealing his beak. So that's a scene.
Ah, mademoiselle. I do not know if you know my name, but I am Gaston Tremblay.
Of
Who?
course you are.
Gaston Tremblay. I come from Canada.
You come from Canada?
So why are you on this ship if you come from Canada?
I was called on a important mission.
I see.
He's been journeying with you since Europe.
That's why I asked, because I knew basically we came from Europe/England.
Well, I know I came from Canada.
Obviously the French Canada.
Well, yeah. So it's like looking like you do not know me, Gaston Tremblay.
I'm afraid not. I'm very sorry. I've not heard of you.
How could you not hear my works? I analyzed many ruins and found their artistic merits.
I'm really sorry. I don't keep up to date with architecture weekly.
Yes, famous magazine of the 1920s, Architecture Weekly. It has pictures in Art Deco style.
Never mind. It's just probably. There's someone will know me at some point.
Oh, poor Gaston.
Well, well, I don't care. I think this is funny.
Ivan offers you chewing tobacco.
No, it is a very unsightly thing. I would not take up such a habit. As he smokes a cigarette.
Ivan, okay. Then Ivan offers you seaweed, which he apparently packaged into some sort of popcorn container for seaweed.
Why are you trying to give me such things?
Okay, he actually picks up a seaweed, he puts tobacco in it, rolls it, lights it, and smokes the seaweed with tobacco in it. He found out this way. He found out he can do that, and it's more economic than buying actual cigarette making kit. You know,
I thought it was a Call of Cthulhu campaign, not a comedy campaign.
Why are you heavily reminded me of a piece by Max Ernst?
Ivan looks at you, then shrugs.
By the way, Max Ernst is a surrealist artist.
Yes, I think I knew that.
Yeah, I'm just basically saying for the benefit of everyone at the table and anyone who didn't know, especially in the audience.
Yes, so I cannot wait for when we have a debate about cinema in the 1920s. We can talk about the avant-garde, German expressionism in cinema, or that the latest movie success or insuccess by the guy who made Birth of a Nation and then Intolerance. Which momentarily escapes my mind, and I usually don't forget about these things, but there you go.
So what brings you to the Big Apple? Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that where we're going? The Big Apple?
Yes.
Yes.
New York City.
I said that out of character, but okay, yes.
I figured that much since you did get the letter.
Yes. Ivan Ivan is going to turn his back to him and say, business. And that's the end of the discussion.
And what about you, mademoiselle?
What?
What about you, mademoiselle?
Yeah, I'm just being called in for business.
Red.
I said I was called in for business.
Yes, I heard that. It's just that I was on red when I was about to talk. Let it fix itself. Come on.
Okay, well, while you're waiting for that, this apparently Wendy's, the fast food chain, has just released a tabletop RPG.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding.
Is it about managing a fast food restaurant?
100-page rule book for it.
Is it about managing a fast food restaurant?
No, it's basically it's a fantasy Dungeons and Dragons-esque game.
Huh?
Where you basically you go and kill Ronald McDonald.
Ooh, shots
honestly,
fired.
It's the next logical step in this company's frankly pitiful and pathetic attempt to sound hip, cool and in with the times. It's very, very disconcerting.
Yeah, just like us.
Now we are at a level in which Colonel Sanders has his own dating sim, which is just.
I mean, Ronald McDonald had his own video game already in the 90s.
Okay, but video games are one thing.
And Burger King has its own game.
I know, it's dumb, but but they are crossing some sort of ridiculous niche territory that you would not expect major mainstream fast food chains to cross. Like, for example, Colonel Sanders having a dating sim. That's a niche. And also, who's that fast food mascot who's a waifu now?
Wendy.
Oh, the Wendy's.
And Arby's. And that's a long list, actually.
I am increasingly worried about this.
Do you know how many people has Pando Burger King or Ronald McDonald?
No?
Let's leave it like that.
Yeah. So anyway,
this did not exist yet in the 20s, so...
Yes, it did not. So anyway,
I know, but it's probably something so horrific that could be considered Lovecraftian.
Yes! I agree, but I agree.
So anyway, Gaston is going to be like, yes, I have too my own business. As you can tell, I'm dressed the part after all. He says as he takes another swig of his smoke.
Well,
there's a mental image there.
I meant a drag. I meant a drag, not a swig.
Well, okay. Well, Captain Popeye is going to look your swig and he's going to counteract it with his smoke donuts, and this can become a competition if you want.
Ooh.
Roll for it.
Yeah, sure. Let's see who can smoke the coolest. It's the 20s. Smoking is cool.
Who's Bilbo Baggins and who's Gandalf?
Okay. Yes, I get it now. So, wow, I rolled a 3. Never mind. I'm dead already. Lose sanity points. Game over. First affliction. Humiliation.
Okay, so basically, I did roll a natural 20 on that, but I would like to.
That's a waste of a roll.
I know, right? Thanks, Madhog.
You're welcome.
So yeah. Anyway, so basically, I'm gonna basically say he puffs rings around yours just to make it look fancy. Yeah, like as you can see, the world can be made into its own artistic tapestry, don't you agree? No?
Last time somebody outsmoked me, I threw them off the sea.
Threw them off the sea.
So basically, they were drowning in the sea, so you threw them onto the boat, so you could throw them off the sea.
Back to land.
Well, his English is broken, so yeah, he's going to have these speech impediments from time to time.
Yeah, we can say now that that's a character trait and not just
Madhog misspeaking. Good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am trying to purposely misspeak because now I have an accent on top of the other accent I already have. So that comes across even more misspoken by accident. It's a galaxy brain level of misspeaking, if you will.
You really like the term galaxy brain.
And somehow your country won the war.
Wait.
What?
Actually, no. Russia retired from the war because of the.
Oh, you're from Russia.
happening.
I thought you were from somewhere else.
What?
I thought it was Russian.
Same here.
Wait.
I think it was pretty obvious with the name and the accent.
No, I thought he was like something else.
What did you
Belarus.
think I was?
I just thought that he weren't from Russia because Russians don't have names like that.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
What are you talking about?
Terrible.
I mean, they have other names, I'm pretty sure, but not Ivan.
Yes, they have Ivan. Remember Ivan the
Ivan
Terrible?
It's usually
Ivan the
pronounced.
Terrible.
It's
Ivan.
spelled the same way. It's pronounced
Yeah.
differently, though. guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you people need to learn to speak proper English.
But he's Russian, so you need to learn to speak proper Russian, apparently.
It's pronounced Ivan in Russia, and it's the English speakers who mangled it to Ivan.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you
Okay,
people.
no, you people, you colonialist assets, go back to England.
To be completely fair, Madhog already explained it that he pronounces it Ivan because it's the Russian way.
Yeah, thank you.
So in this case, Madhog was right this time.
Please shut up. I am not in the mood tonight.
Okay, Call of Cthulhu is already claiming its first victims, apparently. Which is the player's chemistry.
Madhog.
What?
Do that again. No.
What?
Do not belittle me. Anyway,
You've been
Let's carry
belittling me!
shush!
Calm down, everyone.
Okay, whoa there. Whoa. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to continue. Anyway, I'm trying to remember what we were doing now. Anyway,
You were having a smoking contest.
yes, and I just finished it. Yeah, then I have nothing then. Never mind.
Well, Ursula's just going to say basically, these could be characters in my next book.
You are writing.
Yes, I write.
What are you trying to write next?
If you must know, I'm trying to write a horror novel, but I'm having a bit of writer's block.
Oh. That's not a very good thing, no. Perhaps some surrealist art might be able to help with that. Maybe to get the gears moving for a truly horrifying, reality-bending image, no?
I'm not sure if art will be able to help me all that much, but I guess it's worth it.
By the way, the coughing is me, obviously, because I failed the check of smoking. It's totally not the Ross's dog.
I wasn't going to comment on that.
Because I keep turning red, so I don't know if I'm coming through.
I mean, at least for now, you have been coming through clearly.
All right. So you heard all that last part.
Well, that you said you're not sure that it will help with inspiration, but
Yeah, it was worth a try, I said. Bloody.
the voyage is long.
There is a lot of coughing. I think Ivan is dying.
Shadow, could you please stop dying so Ivan can live?
So the parrot is sucking his soul out. It's official.
Delicious.
Ivan will live. Okay.
I don't know why the donkey's there. The donkey's cool.
So, do you think we some point will actually get to the adventure?
I was about to ask him, hey, do we see the Statue of Liberty? Who gets to see the Statue of Liberty first? Come on! Come
Okay,
on,
so yes, you all are pulling into the port at this point.
But it's important. Do we see the Statue of Liberty? Who gets to see it
you
first?
see the Statue of Liberty. You all see it simultaneously.
Yay! Because it's the first thing the immigrants see when they arrive at New York.
As the sun rises from behind it.
And then...
No, it's still completely cloudy overhead. In fact, if anything, it's so cloudy that you would almost mistake it for dusk.
Bit dreary.
It feels like there's a fine mist in the air, but it's not heavily raining.
This reminds me too much of how England looked back in the old times.
Those of you from England know that this is actually somehow worse than England.
Yeah, this is worse than England.
Wow, that's saying something.
Yeah, and I was basically referencing how artists depicted England.
Yes, this is somehow worse than that.
Although, to my understanding, you guys are suffering a real heat wave, or have been suffering a real heat wave for the first time ever this year, thanks to the climate change.
Yeah, 3 days of very hot weather, and then now it's cold again.
You don't have air conditioning, to my understanding, because you usually don't need it.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of mobile air conditioners.
Yeah, we have mobile air conditioners here. Anyway.
So as you disembark, your group of 3 is greeted by 2 stern-looking officers of the law and a gent in
no! It's the immigration office!
Let me finish, please. I'm reading flavor text. The group is greeted by 2 stern-looking officers of the law and a gent in overalls and a white shirt with messy brown hair. He introduces himself as Michael Doppler and says that he's been heading up the investigation on the strange weather. He seems like a friendly enough guy with just a hint of awkwardness to him. Still, it's hard not to like the cut of his jib.
Ah, the cut of his jib, the first true slang of the 20s that everybody remembers.
He'll die first.
Cut my own throat here.
So, he welcomes you all with a hearty handshake. It's like, come, we have to go down to the train station to pick up the last of companions, but hopefully we'll be able to make some progress in this investigation finally.
Wait, when you 2 said you were on business, you meant this business?
Oh, what a coincidence. I like it.
Ivan rolls his eyes. He thought it was obvious.
Okay, so basically, he escorts you into a Model T, along with who's going to be flanked by the officers in another more modern vehicle. I have not actually looked at what model it would be for this. I know the Model T was around and affordable at the time, but it was not state of the art. So, so forgive me for my lack of car knowledge.
Don't worry. I have no idea about cars either, so I wouldn't really care.
A turnabout. I'll steal it. No one will ever know.
Okay, so the officers are following you in a second vehicle, essentially.
Hark.
A better vehicle. Anyway, so you go to the Grand Central Station and pick up the last of the group, which is a gentleman by the name of Jonathan Smith.
What was that, Ross?
I said they're picking up the last of the group, which is a gentleman by the name of Jonathan Smith from the train station.
Jonathan Smith, okay.
Has the train just arrived at the station?
Yeah, you have just arrived at your destination. You were the only one taking trains, so and because of the view that you had out the window, you really did not have much view of the cloud, unfortunately. So when you actually leave the station is your first moment to actually get to look at it. It's also your first time in New York City, and boy, is it big and concrete and busy and smells awful.
I mean, yes. I'm okay. I don't actually know how New York looks like now, but I have this idea, this very stereotypical idea of New York in the 1920s. 50% fog, 50% night.
50% night. Here's the night.
and the rest of it is just light everywhere.
Yes. Anyway, so Ivan takes
so
a deep breath.
When you walk out of the station, you see a number of people in front of you. You see two officers of the law, the messy-haired gentleman, what looks to be a stereotypical seafaring captain.
Another one?
No, you.
Oh, me. Okay, I thought it was weird for a second.
I guess I'm the scruffy one then.
You see a oh boy, how would you immediately describe your character to someone that was just looking briefly?
Oh, me. Finely dressed and with a cigarette.
Okay, so you're still smoking. You are constantly smoking.
Yes.
Everybody's constantly smoking. It's the 20s.
Okay, so and finally, how would you quick and dirty describe your character appearance-wise to someone looking at them, Danton?
Plain looking, I guess.
All right. So a plain-looking woman that seems
do you know how I would describe my character to the onlooker?
Popeye.
Go ahead.
No, Popeye's dead.
Scruffy sea captain.
Oh yes, that was his name, right? What was his name again? Actually, what was the name of Popeye's dead? I forgot.
I have no idea.
I don't remember either.
But you know, Popeye started off. Popeye started. I mean, Popeye, the comic, started off in the 1920s, so it is decade appropriate to make Popeye references.
Good to know. Anyway, so would you like to describe yourself, Jonathan Smith?
Yes, the man you see exiting the train station, you see this very lanky, gaunt man with shoulder-length black hair, with a single strand of the hair being braided with wooden beads running across his cheek. He's dressed in a professional black business suit, and well, the only you could say lively part of him is his bright brown eyes. And can I actually ask the characters to roll to, if they since they are not from the States, to recognize my heritage?
I rolled a 19.
Okay,
So is it just a D20 then?
Yeah, it's a D20. Let me know your result.
16.
Okay, it was over a 13 for everyone, so yes, you do know.
He's Native American.
Yes, so you immediately grasp at this gentleman is a Native American.
I was afraid you were going for a Native American, judging by context clues. I sure hope you're not going to try and actually reproduce the accent. Also, Ross, is your dog okay?
No, I just actually picked her up for a moment, so she's slightly closer to the mic, and that's why she sounds like she's
so
dying
every time
quicker.
you're coughing in canon, it's Ivan. Ivan is coughing all the time.
So stop dying.
Since Devar rolled so high, did he also...
It's not the fact that Devar rolled high, it's that I rolled low. For smoking.
No, because Devar rolled so high, did he also figure out my tribe?
No.
No, no white man would know anything about any tribe.
No,
Yeah, I
let
wouldn't.
me put it this way: no
would-
European would likely know that information.
Or most
Okay.
American. Let's not
Just wanted to
mince
make
words.
sure because the way he is braided his, braid with the beads, it would be possible if you were familiar with the subject, but okay, just wanted to make sure.
That's like really obscure level knowledge. It would have had to have been like a natural 20 for even a chance. I would have rolled a second time to see.
I think you'd also have to live in America to know it because it wouldn't
You
be
have-
common
you have- I
knowledge.
think you have to live in America and actually be into history to know that sort of thing. So that's two things.
When I see
dealing
this-
with Native Americans.
You would also have to care and not being a huge racist. That helps, I think.
Yeah, and
I
since
think
it's,
what-
Yes, lack of racism definitely helps. Too bad there's not a lot of that in the 1920s here.
Or now.
When I see this colorful, let's go with that, group, do I recognize that these are the people who are supposed to be waiting me?
You pick Jonathan's not Jonathan Smith. Michael Doppler introduces himself as such. The other three you didn't know about, but you assume it was part of the boys. That,
Now on Amazon
mentioned in the
Prime!
letter.
The
Yes,
boys.
continue.
So you assume that they're the our best boys that they mentioned in the
Yes.
letter.
And a lady.
Can you
Sure.
pet?
You were a
Yes.
little surprised to actually see a lady there, by the way, that the letter
Can
was.
you?
But you're just
but
like,
question: Can you pet the? Can you pet the best boy though? In this game.
that's a good question. Maybe you'll find out.
Oh no.
uh-oh.
Well,
It's gonna be Cerberus, isn't it?
Jonathan
I'm
offers,
not saying.
Jonathan offers his hand for a handshake, everyone, as he introduces himself. Greetings, I am Jonathan Smith, the professor of meteorology and the assistant professor of pharmacy and mathematics from the University of Utah.
Which you were admitted to.
What?
Huh?
Which you were admitted to the University of Utah. Utah!
Oh, here's a-
In the 1920s.
Yes, It was during this time. It was I might be stretching history a little bit by having
I mean,
him.
we
in
already
the
established
university,
that
but,
this is not historically accurate, so
you know,
let us stop
but-
all the comments.
Yeah, yes, but it was historically accurate during this time for the U.S. government's attempt to Americanize the native population,
Yes,
which
Ah,
included
yeah.
that
white schooling.
awful thing that happened in American history, and it did happen around this time period. So, yes, that
Yikes.
is
Why do you
accurate.
think he introduces himself as Jonathan Smith? Does that sound like
Yeah.
a native name?
No, it does. It sounds like, well, you're basically John Smith. It is the most
Yes.
fake pseudonym imaginable.
And that's the point. By the way, I have to commend you on looking up that piece of history, Icy Pal.
Thank
That's
you.
an awful piece of American history.
It is
but
very
dedication to bring that up to look up that piece.
Wow, listen, I'm going to say this to you. If you put that same level of dedication, and if you were to play, say, a black character in the 1920s, the things you would have found, especially around the time in which Birth of a Nation was released, that would have made you, well, that would have made you want to change planet. Let me tell you.
I don't know. We Americans treated the Native Americans debatably worse.
Okay, I'm going to say this. Ross,
It's not a happy history.
yes, but Ross, did you know what happened right around the release of Birth of a Nation, which was basically a love letter to the Ku Klux Klan that gave Ku Klux Klan all back his power? What up the backlash that the black community, the African American community, had to endure for that? Look up a very specific case about a black person who was accused of raping a white woman and was lynched in and
I've heard
everything else. Yes.
more than a fair share of stories.
Yeah,
but
it's
we have the freaking Trail of Tears.
1920s wasn't nice for black people.
Well, I mean,
in
the Trail of Tears
general.
was earlier, but I mean, historically, both groups have been treated awfully. But I mean, it's debatable which ones. Have
pretty
the
much
shorter end of the stick.
pretty much everybody who's not a white American had something. Well, okay,
No, not a white Protestant.
Okay, when I say white, American, I mean what is considered white American at the time, and I can assure you, Italian immigrants were not.
Neither were Italian immigrants. Not Italian. I mean, Irish immigrants.
I know.
They were the whitest of the whites as far as skin color, but oh god, no.
I was actually researching French art sort of thing, and I stumbled upon this very interesting thing about French history, where basically it was kind of nice, but also kind of sad at the same time because France was going through this big boon in art and appreciation especially for African culture and jazz and all that. And they even had these places where the white and black people would talk to each other, get together, and discuss art as well as
yes. For some reason, France in the 1920s was oddly progressive.
Yeah, but the sad thing about the whole thing is, indoors, while in these places, they treated them equally. But then outside, it was like not very good.
I mean, in the world of entertainment is always separated from the real world for better and for worse.
I found that very interesting, but sad at the same time. That such a progressive time was basically kept inside buildings. It was
pretty much.
But yeah, anyway, enough about this. I think I thought that would be an interesting thing. So let's carry on with the game.
So, Mr. Doppler. Yes. Are you shaking?
No, I'm a racist pig. Of course I shake his hand. Come on. I'm not going to be that character. Come on.
Okay.
And, I'm guessing this is all of your first time to actually dealing with a Native American.
Yeah,
I mean, this is quite a unique situation, considering this is many of your first time dealing with any Americans, let alone a Native one.
Yeah, true.
I mean, this...
Ursula Lockhart. Nice to meet you, Mr. Smith.
Likewise, Miss Lockhart.
By the way, it's a very interesting headdress thing you got there. Braid. What does it mean?
This... well, it doesn't have any specific meaning, actually. It is simply how should I put it? My tribal symbol, so to speak.
Oh.
Well, it tells where I come from.
Interesting. It's the first I've seen it of such a thing.
I take it that from your looks, I take it none of you are native to this land. You come across the sea.
No.
Okay. When you say native.
Anyway, yeah.
I know.
My character shakes, Jonathan's hand and goes, Gaston Tremblay, charmed to meet you. Can I call you John?
That is acceptable. Pleasure to meet you as well.
I would like to share some notes with you, especially about your culture and art.
I'd be happy to, but it seems that we have a very peculiar puzzle at our hands at the moment.
Yes.
He says, looking at the sky.
Yes. The sky. It makes my smoke look like it pales in comparison, does it not?
Yes. I guess. Ivan is also going to shake his hand. Ivan, Botman. That's what he says.
Mr. Boatman.
Mr. Boatman.
Bring me a dream. Make it as oceanic as it can be. I don't know.
I see. Pleasure.
Shake. Okay, no, we do the mother. Okay, can I roll to give him the mother of all handshakes? I want it to be the 1920s equivalent of the Predator high five, if it's possible. No, I rolled a natural one. My hand is clammy and sweaty.
Maybe Icy Pal could match it?
He would have no idea what he's trying to do, but your attempt to make a cool handshake just turns his critical
No,
failure into
I'm trying to make a normal handshake. I'm trying to make a normal handshake, but you know, essentially to make the best normal handshake possible in the 1920s. You know, something solid to leave an impression.
Oh, so it feels like I'm shaking a wet noodle.
Pretty much, yes. I'm feeling a bit under weather, he says. I make a joke.
I see. Pleasure. He notices, but doesn't comment.
That's very kind of you. Also, I have a parrot. See the parrot? Right here.
Jonathan raises an eyebrow a bit, but doesn't say anything.
The parrot casually jumps towards your arm. I think he likes you.
I see. He offers the parrot back.
The parrot hesitates, but then comes back. And that's the end of that. Very dry, but to the point. Lots of subtext, if you will.
Gasper. Would you like a Gasper, Jean?
No, thank you, Mr. Gaston. I do not smoke. I believe, but
well, more for us.
Well, then, Mr. Doppler, I believe we should get on business. I assume that we are all here for the same reason.
Correct. And it's like, wait a minute. Takes out his pocket watch.
All right, you'd also notice that Jonathan is holding a big suitcase.
Yeah, you know what? I think it'd be best if we just get you to your rooms for the night. We'll go and start doing some investigation tomorrow morning. How does that sound?
Yes, I am feeling kind of booshed, actually.
Yeah, the trip was long. A bit.
Come, we got rooms at the Commodore.
Commodore, eh?
Yes. No matter how much the railway has advanced during these decades, they never hold the seating as a priority. Still as uncomfortable as ever.
So how many of those rails go through former Native American territory? I'm just asking for a friend.
Maybe we should not ask that.
I know, but it seems relevant somehow.
Ooh. I don't know the answer, but it's too many.
Well, that's
Okay, let's talk about something less depressing.
Okay, so,
hey, how about that buffalo population?
very bad.
Very bad. Okay, so
it's not it's not like it matters anymore, considering that Native Americans aren't allowed to hunt anymore. Or hunt in general. Actually, really.
Well, they used to chase them off a cliff, the buffalo. So they used to waste more buffalo than the Native American. Well, than the invade.
No.
Yeah,
because
they did, but they also used everything.
Yeah, but I'm not mistaken because they basically forced an entire herd off a cliff.
Yes, but
Yeah.
what the white man hunters found out about the buffalo is that it's really easy to kill them one by one with a shotgun from a distance because they don't all run away when they hear the shot.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I mean, the big difference was that Native Americans, when they killed a buffalo, they used everything they could. White hunters usually just took the tongue and or tail to show that, yes, we killed one, now pay us, because
I
government
thought,
was paying
well,
them.
isn't the buffalo meat delicious?
Well, yes, but
It is, but it's not very sustaining, if that makes sense. It's very low in
Oh,
fat.
I see.
yeah, and then there was, of course, the little gold nugget of disgust that the US government was trying to push the native population into reservations, and getting rid of the buffalo was an important step in that.
I see. You know, it's a good thing
This is
none
like
of
the
us.
most educational freaking stream that we've ever had.
Okay, it's
I
a good
know,
thing,
this is
you
weird.
know, guys. It's a really, really, really good thing that we're not doing a campaign based on any of our own countries. Otherwise, we would all get roasted pretty hard, like we are doing for poor Ross here.
Okay. Okay. So you guys get checked into the Commodore Hotel. The U.S. government has paid for your stay pretty much indefinitely until this situation is taken care of. Busboys come down and take your stuff and say that it will be approximately an hour before your rooms will be prepared for you. But in the meantime, please enjoy our lounge.
I can smoke in the lounge, correct?
You can smoke it anywhere.
Ivan
Yeah.
thinks you're smoking too much.
I believe it is quite sexy, don't you think?
Okay, I don't think researches about the damage of cigarettes were anywhere near to starting in the
I thought
1920s. So yeah, so smoking is the coolest, kids.
that's why I said it. It makes me look sexy.
Well, that
So
was
you
the
basically,
belief at the time.
so you just dropped all pretension and just went and said it.
It's like, oh yes, it just makes you look like a leisure suit lizard.
A leisure suit lizard. I can't believe you said that. Awesome. Okay.
A lounge lizard. I'm sorry, that was the
Yes,
term.
you took Leisure Suit Larry and Lounge Lizard, which is
It's
also
lounge
the title.
lizard is the actual term. I was looking for it.
Which is funny because the first game in the Leisure Suit Larry series is
that's why I
titled
got-
"In the Land of the Lounge Lizards."
Yes, but that's where that term actually comes from, the 1920s.
Yes, I thought as much. I love it. I cannot wait for more Easter eggs such as these to appear
All
out
right.
of
Anyway,
nowhere.
okay. So you decide to go take a table. Normally, the Commodores, one of New York's biggest and brightest hotels, so you would usually have this place packed full. However, this is that. Sorry, I should probably put this in Michael's words instead of narration. Like Michael's like, yeah, the Commodore. This place has opened up not too long ago. It's like one of the newest, spiffiest hotels available in the Big Apple. And before this whole weather situation came, you couldn't even get a room. But now, anyone that didn't have pressing business that was in out of town, they left. So you only have a few diehards left over, and business is kind of slow. One of the reasons that we're getting the government's springing for a room here after all is because they gave them a considerable discount, from what I heard.
I see. All very interesting.
I have a question.
So, when you get to your table, the waitress comes over to take your order. A young lady comes to take your order, her red hair and southern drawl immediately catch your attention, followed by her ample assets under her gray-striped waitress uniform.
Of
She
course.
knows-
Of course you would have to point that out, Ross.
She notices and shoots your group a playful wink before asking for your order.
The 1920s. Yeah. Ivan asks. Yes. Okay. Ivan is going to order plain toast, salt water, salt water.
I don't know if we got any salt water, but we definitely got toast. Is that all you really want now?
Take water, add salt to it. There, salt water. I do not do job for you.
She looks like you have. She looks at you like you have two heads. It's like,
well, he has a parrot, so technically those are two heads.
like, so what are you having, Dandy Man?
He's talking about you, Devark.
Okay, I didn't realize I was the dandy. Okay, in character.
It's certainly not Ivan.
Oh, I thought. Never mind. Anyway, so I would let. Do you have any chicken?
You meant chicken? Yeah, we
Yes.
got chicken. By the way, my
Yes.
southern draw is awful, and I freely admit that, and I'm so sorry.
Yes, I know. Good. Oh, good. I'll have the chicken as well as your finest bottle of wine.
Wine?
You not sell wine? Okay, then I'll just I'll have I'll just take a water then.
Did you hear this guy? Wine. I think anybody who's anybody in this town would love to get a glass of wine these days.
Get a load of this guy and his fancy wine requests.
You're not from around here, are you?
Well, no, I've never been to New York City before.
No, have you been to America, Al?
Oh, I've come from Canada.
Huh. Well, I guess up north they don't tell you guys about what's going on around here. We haven't had wine be legal for a few years now.
Yes,
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
That's
They
weird
call it
because
prohibition.
that's weird because it says here in this. Oh wait, that might be because
Yes,
it's something
prohibition
else.
started.
Right.
Yes, prohibition started, it would end approximately in 1933.
Right. It's just I was looking at the list here of drinks, and it said wine was in the list.
Yeah, if you're going to a speakeasy in America.
Yes, I just took a quick glance over it.
That's how it could have been here, but yeah, prohibition was
Okay,
definite.
somewhere around there is a Kevin Costner yelling, I'll get you, beer baron. No, you won't. Yes, I will.
The closest thing that we had here to wine would be root beer.
Oh, yes.
Root beer. I guess I could give that a go.
But we don't. But,
Yeah, I'll get you a root beer.
honestly,
You'll like
that-
it or not?
That can be useful in case we have to bust some ghost.
A pirate ghost. No.
A pirate ghost. Oh, yes.
Anyway, she looks at Michael and is like, you know what I want by now. Yes, T-bone steak, right? Coming right up. And for you, so you seem to be
Cough.
very well dressed here.
I assume she's talking to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you're the other yeah.
The awkwardness is palpable.
I'll have a fish salad and a glass of water, please.
That's an unusual order, but okay. I'll see what my chef can do for you.
See, do you want salt
you.
in it?
But yeah, stick the fish into Madhog's water for sea salt.
You can take a note that Jonathan doesn't acknowledge any of the awkwardness or comment on it in any way.
I guess he's kind of used to it. Got it.
Yes. Wow. Oh boy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hey, I knew what I was getting into when I created this character. I actually created him completely in the Call of Cthulhu system, filled the character sheet and everything.
Yes, he did.
And I put my appearance at lowest at 25, because mostly because, well, as you heard from the description, he's not a handsome man, but also because, well, everyone is going to look him down his nose. Well, almost everyone, aside from the people who know him because of his heritage.
Yes.
And he doesn't really do anything to hide it.
Okay,
Well-
and what would the twist like?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What would the twist like? She said, looking at Ursula.
The twist is a very odd expression.
Welcome to 1920s.
I'm sorry, it's just that I didn't actually hear it because he cut out for a moment. But all right, I just look at the menu and go like, fish and chips, please, and a lemonade.
Oh, fish and chips, you say?
Fish and chips. I mean, it's not
Wait.
something I would normally do, but...
Wait, hold on. Wait, did England have fish and chips in the 1920s?
Should do.
That's a legitimate question.
It's
I
one
mean,
of the old.
England might have. I don't know if it was widespread.
Yes, England did. Fish and chips appeared in England in 1860s.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, so there's a decent chance they might be able to make it. It's like, I don't know if my chef knows it, but I'll ask. We'll get you something fish related.
Just a
Two fish related.
just a raw trout. Or whatever it is that floats about in the New York Bay.
So I gotta ask. It's been pretty slow these days. So what are you blokes doing here?
Wait, do American use the term blokes?
I think I misspoke there. Hold on.
Yeah, you said bloke.
What?
That's a very British
That is
expression.
a very
It is.
expression. Sorry. Sorry. I literally have this huge freaking list of 1920s slang that
This is
I'm
the
looking
best.
through, and the problem is just freaking finding the right words.
Yeah, because they'll
Oh.
probably mix English and American.
What are you fellas doing here? Yeah, there's a term.
Fellas is about as old a term as it gets.
Yeah.
Work. We are
Like,
studying
most
the
people don't come
local.
most
Yes.
people don't come these days because of the weather. Although
We're
definitely most people don't stay.
We're
Well-
here- Yes.
Oh, okay. Then well, the weather is the reason why we have arrived. We are studying it.
You're studying. Well, if you can do anything to end it, that would be a freaking fancy.
Well, mademoiselle, I would not worry. We are here just to make sure everything is going to be okay.
Uh-huh. Well, I certainly expect you to fix the weather after all, but you guys
Yes.
are at least welcome here.
Yes, I'll try and ring Mother Nature. She
Mother-
says it with a smile, like she was.
Mother
Be charming.
Mother Nature is very abusive, mother.
Let me go get your orders in for you.
Thank you.
Okay, so as you look around the rest of the lounge, you see that you are not the only souls here as well. There's a few other people. Behind the bar itself, you see a...
Bard,
Behind the bar counter stands a gruff, humorless man in a tux. He doesn't look particularly tall or burly, but he excludes an imposing aura. He's not a man you'd like to get on the wrong side of.
Okay, let's not then.
Yes.
Couldn't resist full throttle reference.
So, anyone else aside from our group and the barkeep?
In addition, over in the corner, you see there's a gent playing the piano.
Of course. Is he playing ragtime?
Okay, let me read the flavor text. At the back of the lounge sits a late 20s or early 30s gent on the piano. He's pretty darn good at it, and has a heck of a singing voice, as good as you've ever heard. You'd imagine this guy would be packing theaters to see him if it weren't for one thing: the color of his skin.
Ah, yes.
The sad expression
yes.
on his face tells you everything you need to know about his life up till this moment.
Yeah, I think my character would really like this.
Yes, it's miraculous at all that some jazz singers actually managed to reach some sort of wide level of success at that time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, before white people stole jazz from them, that is, because that's what white people do.
Yep. But no, he is fantastic. Like, the best you've ever heard by your own ears.
Okay.
Right.
Also, at the bar sits a well-dressed gentleman, and boy, is he trying to draw everyone's attention to it. In fact, the guy seems to be trying to suck the social status out of everyone around him like some kind of parasite.
Ah, yes.
Still,
Wow.
he doesn't seem like a bad bloke.
Again, bad bloke.
Well, it's Ross's narrative nature.
Yes. And finally, and also at the bar, there is a 40-something man that seems to embody all things negative. He's dressed to the nine and no doubt has more money than you've ever seen, but you've never seen a more miserable soul in all of your days. And as you know, misery loves company.
Aw.
Does he actually look miserable?
Oh, yes.
So this is like, okay, this is very point-and-click adventure style. We have several people to talk to and to interact to. So let's get some clues, everybody. Who do you choose and why?
Jonathan is going to talk to Mr. Doppler.
Okay.
Okay. So, Michael's just there waiting for his food. And it's just like, oh, what's up? Oh, sorry, that's not...
That is definitely not
That's not it.
1920s.
Sorry. I knew I was going to be terrible at this, but I wanted to make the attempt anyway.
Don't worry, Ross. I won't
love
judge you for
you
it.
and appreciate you, Ross.
Yes, don't worry, Ross. I would be bad at it too.
It's very hard to slip out of habits.
I know. No.
So how do
Especially
you
since,
begin?
I'm doing a lot of this off the cuff instead of like flavor text. Like if I had time to write flavor text for literally everything, I could make sure it was all in lingo, but that's tough.
I've got to ask you, how do you begin a conversation in the 1920s New York lingo?
Okay. I'm drawing right now because guess what? Nature's calling again.
Oh, no.
Dear.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okie dokie.
Hope you'll be alright, Ross.
Okay, I would like to take this opportunity to properly apologize to the VAR for pushing his buttons yet again earlier. Apparently,
It's okay. Look, I'm just not in a very good mood these last few weeks, so I'll be fine.
I'm sorry to hear that. I thought we were doing our classic escalation joke, and I did not notice that I was actually pushing your buttons, and I'm sorry. It's just that when you corrected me on the correct pronunciation of Ivan, even though I explained earlier that it is pronounced Ivan outside of Anglo-Saxon language, that also ticked me off a little bit, and so that was just that. So that was essentially when the fires were shot.
Yeah,
So,
maybe I should apologize for that then. Sorry, I just didn't hear that part.
Well, I'm
So
also
it was
sorry
all
too.
Discord's fault.
Well, Discord is pretty terrible, and if Skype weren't actually worse than Discord, I would have quit Discord a long time ago. In fact, I went back to Skype a little while ago just to see what's up with it.
Yes.
And apparently it doesn't even have the screen share option anymore on the app. You would have to use Skype on the website, and I don't know how the website works. I spent 5 minutes on it and I hated it so much I never looked back.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
do they even bother update it anymore because everyone is using Discord?
I mean, maybe for good reason.
They update it from time to time. I don't really use it all that often compared
Well,
to...
the truth is that Skype has not been exactly making any money for Microsoft. So there is that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got to have money.
Okay, I
Yes,
have to see if there's a GIF of that.
Of course there is.
we've got to have money, says...
Money.
Says Disney. We've got to have money before we kill everyone on this planet.
We've got to have money.
We've got to have Cthulhu.
Money.
Okay, this is the Cthulhu cultists say we've got to have Tulu.
Money was the true Cthulhu all along.
Yes.
If I get a chance to, I'm going to try and talk to the pianist myself, just because.
Yes, I think everybody wants to talk with the pianist, if I'm being honest.
Well, to be honest, I
Nay.
want to talk. I want to talk with the pianist because it's in my character that spoiler, my character is very into transgressive themes.
Oh, so you're one of those wild white girls who do the transgressive thing because they think it's the cool thing to do. Essentially.
Well,
You're-
wild guys.
You know what transgressive means, right?
I know what transgressive means, but most people who use the word do not know what that means because they are just following a trend.
Yeah, it's basically challenging the societal norms.
I just said that I know what it means, so why are you explaining to me? Isn't that... I mean...
I just couldn't help myself. Okay, I just basically, just want to say just in case.
Okay, so do you want to tell me again how Ivan is pronounced since we're at it?
No, I'd rather not go back there again.
We've got the scary barman, miserable guy, pianist, and Michael, essentially.
Michael.
Michael!
Keep on.
Michael!
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 Michael.
Michael!
Michael.
Are you a social... Michael, are you a socialist, Michael? Remember that, Ivan.
I hope you're not like most of France, where you're socialists. Okay, yeah, that was a bit of a.
So I
No.
don't know who the rest of you guys are talking to, apart from Icy Pal, who's talking to Michael.
Yeah, well,
Michael.
I know I'm gonna talk to the pianist myself.
Well, if you talk to the pianist, I think I'm going to go to the really miserable rich guy, because I think my character can relate to him being
Yeah, misery
lonely.
and misery.
exactly
Yeah,
misery
yeah,
or misery.
Yeah, as Ross said, misery loves company.
Well, I'm going to give misery. I'm going to give misery a lot of company, and well, actually, this is turning into something else entirely. Never mind.
Are you trying to sell your bird to him?
What?
Well, misery loves company, and he's obviously a rich man.
Well, I don't know if he's a rich man, honestly.
Also, I swear my French accent keeps on leaving me every so often during conversation.
It's a good thing I only decided to be a occasionally talking character. Otherwise, I could not keep up the Russian act. because when I hear the Russian accent, to me the Russian accent is filtered through the Italian localization. So
Right.
let me put it in context. So we have in Italy a long tradition of dubbing, localization, some of which is comically detestable. I could rip your ear out with so much useless information about how comical some of the choices for translation of titles or names or character names and whatnot are in films that are distributed in our country. But just as you English folks have your own interpretation of different languages filtered through your own colonialist own point of view, we also have that in here. For example, a Russian guy, which with an Italian voice actor,
Right.
will speak more or less like this, which is less fruity, so to speak, than the English-speaking version of that. I don't know if that makes sense to you. So whenever, if I have to try to emulate a Russian accent, I cannot escape years and years of exposure to Italian dub. That was a very roundabout way of saying I'm glad my character doesn't speak very often.
You need to just add more throat to the talking.
Maybe fruity wasn't the right expression, but
What are you talking about? We are going to shoot the vessels.
yes, something along those lines. Whereas in Italy it would be, I speak Russian. Can you notice how I speak Russian? Because I roll my R's and I have a slight funny inclination of my voice.
Cheeky breaky, comrade. Come on, let's go bowling.
You sound okay. You sounded like an Italian trying to sound Russian right now. That's impressive.
I think that's a compliment.
I mean, you failed at it, but it's impressive nonetheless.
It's the fact you tried.
At least he tried.
It's my Finnishness showing.
So, do you ever think how interesting it is that all that discourse about the cosmic horrors, how unfathomable it is for humanity to think outside of itself, the horror of the unknown, just the idea of how many things it is that we don't know and that is scary, was at the base of the Lovecraftian mythos. And then the actual progression of technology and society actually turned those fears into something completely mundane because the real horror was humanity all along. That's interesting to think about.
Yeah.
That's just a thought, a fleeting thought I wanted to share with the class.
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, let me see here.
Well, the big thing in the Cthulhu mythos and Lovecraftian horror is the human insignificance, how absolutely small and meaningless we are when compared to these massive cosmic horrors whose mere presence is enough to overcome our measly human minds.
Yes, and that was very fascinating and interesting in a time and context that was before the technological advancements that would occur throughout the rest of the 20th century. I would now, thinking about cosmic horrors, the unknown, what's out there, is almost a comforting thought, because it distracts us from how horrible things are in the real world and in our perception of reality. So the horror always really comes from within, but we are fascinated by the horror outside because, paradoxically, thinking about how insignificant and how everything is outside of our power is something that we can rely on because it means that everything wrong in the world is outside of our power. So it's almost a it's almost as if society and culture has reverse engineered the Lovecraftian think tank into a way to cope with the horrors of reality.
Yeah, I could see that.
Also, there is also the small anecdote about the fact that Lovecraft was an incredible, massive racist, even for his times. It was eyebrow raising, and a lot of that is imbued in his stories.
Mm-hmm.
But again, taking the mythos and what they represent, what they mean, and you decontextualize, and you let me rephrase that, and you decontextualize them from the problems attached to them related to Lovecraft the person, and you still have something truly timeless and inspiring, and that a lot of people can rely to as a way to make new horror stories and new horror mythos, and so on and so forth. I guess I am enamored with the concept of cosmic horrors and the Lovecraftian mythos more than actual Lovecraft himself or his stories. Because let's face it, that kind of prose, that opulent, purplish, very flavory prose, can get quite old quite fast.
I don't know if you know this, but H.P. Lovecraft, his work was not appreciated in his time.
Oh, I know that.
It's only after he died it was appreciated. But I'm glad you know.
Yes, I know that. And it's a good thing too, because otherwise, without the copyright laws would change, we might have not have had his works in the public domain as soon as he died, but wait, even more than that.
Yeah, true.
Did you know that the only reason copyright laws are as messy as they are is because Walt Disney did a simple phone call to a senator that was his friend?
That doesn't surprise me for some reason, given the way they are now, just basically being a conglomerate of, like, companies at this point.
And to think that at some point, all you need for something to enter public domain was a 14 years time period. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you needed at some point. 14 years. Can you fathom that?
No.
Of course you can't. It's way before.
No one can. You'd have to be some sort of supercomputer or something to understand.
Beep boop. Beep boop. I am a robot.
So,
You are a robot.
You are roboting.
so
Hello.
I like the fact that playing Darkest Dungeon is what rekindled my interest in cosmic horror, and what inspired me to ask Ross to, hey, should we do a Call of Cthulhu campaign?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a really good game, Darkest Dungeon. Very hard,
It
very
is.
despair-inducing, but then again, that's the whole point of Lovecraft stories: the despair, the hopelessness.
It's constant balancing of do I pull out now and take what I have managed to acquire, or do I push forward and risk everything that I have acquired plus my mercenaries to get even more.
Sounds kinky.
Yes, but I like how it takes elements from roguelikes and RPGs and smashes them together to create its own unique flavor of roguelike RPG, because usually I am not a fan of roguelikes and what they entail, that aspect of permadeath, which I am never really... I can see the appeal, but it's not really for me. And I say that after trying to play Sheeran the Wanderer. And if you know anything about that one...
No, I've never played it. The only roguelike I've played is FTL, Faster Than Light.
That's a popular one for a reason.
I only like it because it's like you get to command your own crew like it's bloody Star Trek or something.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, but it's really hard. So it's
Yeah,
like,
that it is. What I've seen people commenting about it.
but it is a pretty good game though. You just have to accept that you're going to lose a couple of.
By the way, I just had a thought. Have any of you heard about the D&D game called Descent into Avernus?
Yes.
Although everyone hasn't
I've
run away
heard of
yet,
it.
I'm amazed.
Welcome back.
I mean, at this point, the most horrible thing we have faced is racism.
I mean, if you when you get down to it, cosmic horrors are abstract and far away. Racism is within us constantly, with us. So, what's actually scarier, the mundanity of evil, or some abstract idea of evil?
It is like a disease.
I mean, when the abstract idea of evil can actually manifest to an actual evil that can affect you, I'd say both.
Okay, again, I am so sorry for this. My bowels are
fine.
not.
No, it gave
fine.
us plenty of chances to talk about several elements. We had a very good discussion about Lovecraft and whatnot. Too bad you missed it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, that's great filler, though. Thank you very much. Okay,
Well,
so
we try.
Someone
we
had a
with
question.
Icy Pal with
Someone,
Michael.
someone had a question for Michael. So
Yes. Jonathan pulls out his notebook and ballpoint pen. Mr. Doppler, can you, as we are waiting for our orders, can you give us a rundown of the situation? What exactly has been happening with the weather here?
sure, as far as I know it, everything just doesn't make any sense. So at first, when this cloud just came in overhead, the weather conditions basically like you're seeing now, only a little lighter. About 2 months ago or so. So naturally, I would thought it was just a regular front that was going to pull through with some kind of storm, but no, it just persisted. So eventually, we start getting some instruments down there to try to figure out what's going on, and well, our instruments are giving readouts that are completely wrong. They
Wrong.
can't be right.
Can you elaborate?
The numbers just keep coming back wildly off to what they would even be. Like one day, I put it down there, and the mercury on the thermometer didn't even rise at all. Another day, I put it down there. It might be claiming that it's 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Huh.
So naturally, we thought instruments were faulty at first. So we brought in a second set, and we're still getting readings as inconsistent as that. Now, it doesn't take a scientist to realize that it's not 150 degrees when your thermometer is saying it's 150 degrees. So this has been incredibly frustrating. We have gone through 3 sets of instruments to try to make sure, and nothing's coming back anywhere near what they're supposed to be, or consistently wrong for that matter.
Is it the same all around the place, or is it just in a particular place that the temperature is?
We've taken readings from across the city. Specifically, the entire thing seems to be centered around a specific uninhabited island. So that's where we have the most of our instruments set up. But it seems like the further away we get from the island, the more consistent our measurements get, or the closer to being where they're supposed to be they are.
Is there a chance that that island is actually the tip of Cthulhu's head.
Interesting. Well, aside from the cloudiness, has there been any other actual weather patterns witnessed?
Just this mist that's been persistent for literally 2 months now since this started to roll in. We're just worried that it's going to actually start raining at some point, so that's why we actually requested an architectural specialist to look at the levees of the city and make sure they could actually handle it should this start turning into a long-term rain event.
If it doesn't rain blood, I'll be very disappointed.
Have there been any attempts to get a closer look at this cloud itself on a plane?
That's the thing. We haven't seen anyone manned up there, but trying to put instruments on weather balloons, that just ain't working out. Like, we'll get nothing from them. Nada.
Nothing.
Nothing, as in if the cloud isn't even there?
Like, as soon as they go into the cloud, they stop giving a reading.
Do they come back?
No, they don't.
Even the balloons disappear?
Correct. Though usually when a weather balloon's sent up, it usually doesn't come back down, or at least anywhere near where it would send it at, so that's not necessarily unusual. But the fact that the instruments are giving us no readings once they get up there, that's the strange part.
How peculiar.
Like I said, it's got all of us stumped.
Peculiar.
So that's why with of desperation, we reached out to you folks. And truthfully, I don't think the U.S. government really wanted to call attention to this outside of borders, but people are starting to get uneasy, and when the world's largest city starts to feel uneasy, people take notice.
Could you share all the data that you have with us so that we can study it?
Certainly, I'll see if I can give you my notes.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, I only have one copy of them, so if you wanted to make copies, you'd have to do it by hand.
That is no problem.
Yes, I don't think that would be a problem.
It will be a nice light exercise to help stimulate the brain cells.
But
maybe I'll come up with something.
I certainly don't recommend doing it tonight, though. You've already had a long journey from where you started from.
Ivan, don't sleep.
Well, you might want to start making a habit of it.
I'll just need one good night's rest. I would.
Also, if you wanted to know about any of the other people on the lounge, I can give you. Oh God, I can't. Sorry, looking up slang.
It's all about slang. You slang.
And how you play it. It's all about the slang. And how you slang it.
All about if you can take it.
Oh gosh, you people.
Yes, we are your people.
Yes, we are our people. We are each other's people.
We the people. Oh my gosh, Jack Swagger in AEW.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to say Jack Hager now. That's his name now.
I was gonna say, it was Hager in it.
Yes, but Well, that was still a nice surprise.
Is he trying to push on the fame of Mike Hagar, the
I'm
greatest
sorry
wrestling
I
mayor?
can't use this right now, but I'm just completely baffled that apparently they used the slang for figure things out as crab in the 1920s.
Crab.
Nice.
crab.
Let's
Mr.
crab
Crab.
it out.
Mr. Crab. Okay.
I'm sorry I'm not using that on principle, but it's just one of those things that just got my attention.
Well,
Alright.
listen, for a long time the word gay did not mean what it means today, so...
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
it's
or
the
many other
1920s! In the 1920s, we can use the word gay however we want it.
Yeah, as
Let's
long as
be
we're all
gay.
happy.
Let's be
Let's
gay together.
Let us all be gay together. Yes. What a gay weather. Oh, no, wait. What a queer weather. Yes, because queer used to mean weird, and then it became a slur.
Unusual, yes.
Then it became a slur, and then it was owned by the people
Lot-
that received the slur.
Lot of things. Well, that happened to a lot of words.
Yes, I've
Yes.
seen that as well.
God damn it, I cannot find proper slang for this. Anyway, I'm just gonna give up on trying to find slang. I was like, if you need to know anything about the people that are here, I've been on this lounge after days of racking my brain, like, 2 months now. I can tell you at least a little bit about them.
I think I'm going to approach the misery man.
Oh boy.
This is going to be good.
Yes, so
So-
while I've even
Even, yes.
I was about to mispronounce it. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Michael, what about Misery Guts over there?
Oh, that guy's name is William Brown. Apparently he, some kind of wealthy businessman. I don't know what company he works for, but he seems to be rolling in dough. But man, he'll complain about anything and anyone. Some of his favorite targets include the government, his co-workers, his wife, and recently the weather.
Well, he's an old
Also-
man.
Also, just if you stay here long enough, you're going to see something that, well, I don't take to, but I mean, he often, one of his favorite pastimes is to hurl abuse at Manny over there. This points to the guy on piano.
Yes, I figured that would be an option.
Yes, I was worried about that.
So what about the pianist? What's he like?
Getting to him. Guy's name is Manny Jackson. He's good. He's real good.
Yes,
I can agree. I can agree to that. He's very fantastic.
Best music Ivan ever heard. Also, only music Ivan ever heard.
Manny chuckles to that. It's like, it's a shame, really. The guy is just deserves to be filling theaters, doing tours of the nation. Instead, he's stuck here, lounge, because of the color of his skin. Sometimes life ain't right.
Yes, looks at the audience and says it. Just the thesis of the movie. Oscar bait.
What about the barman?
Oh, that guy. Name's Henry Jeffers. He's been here since they opened, honestly. He ain't happy about the prohibition, but he still does his job and still drinks he's allowed to do by jaw. The regulars know not to give him any lip. I mean, he's throwing out all sorts. And he lets his fists do the talking, too. Even mob toughs know not to cross him and make him angry.
You're trying real hard, Ross. I appreciate it.
In fact, if just a little word between you and me, there's been some rumors flying around that he may have been a made man at one, and he got out. So, people give him a wide berth, but as long as you mind your P's and Q's and don't start making a fuss up in here, then you'll be fine. And he usually will let people throw around words, but once it gets to be more than that, that's when he's going to show you the door.
I see. Very insightful, thank you.
And then I guess I might as well tell you about the other two that are here tonight too while we're at it.
There's another two?
So the waitress that was seeing you, she's currently the only one that they have just because of the weather. I mean, when business is down, you can't afford to keep a full staff, right? So, her name is Kathy Holmes. Apparently, she came from Georgia, trying to make a living up in the big city.
Ah, Georgia, the greatest American state.
Fortunately, things didn't quite go as she had hoped, and now she's forced to bust tables for a living.
Pity.
She usually flirts with the more affluent-looking gentlemen that come in the building. So I think she's trying to catch herself a husband. That's just me, though.
You're the husband?
That's just what I think. I should say.
I know.
And then finally, the other gentleman at the bar. The guy's name is Larry Stevens.
Leisure Suit Larry Stevens.
Apparently, he's the owner of a successful butcher shop that he opened after the war. However, he ain't happy with that at all. He's trying to climb the social ladder as quickly as possible. And guy seems to stay here just for the sake of staying here, just to say that he does. Also, word is that he occasionally gets in touch with some of the seedier gentlemen, if you know what I'm saying. The types that you wouldn't want to bring home the mother. So, just keep that in mind. He's not a terrible fellow from what I've seen, but he runs in some unsavory circles at times. And that's all of them.
So, did we exhaust the dialogue tree with you?
You can ask him any other questions that you have. That doesn't necessarily mean I have anything particularly prepared.
Yes, tell me about yourself.
Are you actually asking that?
No, I'm sorry. Okay, so Ivan is going to take his glass of salt water and his plain toast.
Yeah, Kathy, actually before that, Kathy has started to bring your food and drink out. I was like, sorry it took so long. Fortunately, it takes a little longer when we don't have a lot of business. Had to cook everything straight from scratch in those short order techniques. At least that's what the chef says. Not really much to cook myself.
If only we had a system for making food fast.
Yes. Thank you very much.
You fellas need anything else?
No, I do
kiss?
not.
Yes, we need a kiss for the roses.
No, I'm fine.
I'm quite fine, thank you.
Yes.
Alright, holla
thank
if you need anything.
Of course, mademoiselle. Of course, mademoiselle. Thank you.
Mademoiselle? Well, that's the first time I've been called that. That's a nice ring to it.
What is a slang term for woman or lady in the 20s? I am almost afraid to ask.
Don't want a bunch.
I knew I would regret this.
Okay, so you could use
Flappers. That's it.
You could use Sheba, Dame, Tomato.
Tomato.
bear cat.
And
And I believe there was one more.
what about sister?
No, that was not common slang at the time.
And what about the most condescending of them all, kid?
Kid was actually said to both. It was a gender neutral term at the time. A kitten could also be used for woman. That
Yes,
was
kitten sounds very patronizing.
like tomato doesn't.
Tomato sounds baffling. Why? I don't get tomato.
And those are some of the higher brow ones. There's also a pro skirt.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's I have to live with the consequences of my actions. So, moving on, I'm going to take my glass of salt water and my
for
plain
other
toast.
individuals in this room, fun fact: boobs were called bubs then.
Bubs.
I'm not even
Bubs.
kidding.
Hey,
Well,
Bubs.
Yes, I think I knew that. I didn't know it was that old of a term, but okay. Bops,
Okay,
Baps.
Continue. You're the one that inquired about this.
Yes, I'm going to take my glass of salt water and my plain toast. I'm going to scooch over to the stool beside Rich said old angry guy, which... Hold on. To the pit of misery, yes, the appropriate gif for the occasion. So I'm going to sit beside Ebenezer Scrooge there, and having bad day, he asks.
Every day's a bad day these days. I mean, this country's going hell in a handbasket.
Yes, those liberals are taking over.
I mean, did you see what happened with the Teapot Dome scandal? It's ridiculous. I can't believe it got that far.
Yes.
Then I mean, what kind of lunkheads are in charge up there?
If it's the same as lunkheads in charge around my parts, not very good, I would assume.
Well, you're not from this country or something? Do you not read the papers?
You might have noticed accent. Slightly different.
You broke up there. I didn't hear you.
Oh, you might have noticed accent slightly different.
I was picking up on you. What do you want?
Well, if I'm being perfectly honest, I noticed you seem pretty sad. I understand sadness. I'm sad myself. I thought, why not keep company because misery likes company. I figured.
Sad? Me? Sad? I don't know what you're talking about. I have more money than you could even imagine.
Are you happy?
Of course I'm happy. I got one of the biggest houses in town. I got a wife that's quite the looker. Even sorry.
Then
I even got one of those newfangled radios.
Oh yes, those newfangled radios. Then why are you so angry?
Why am I angry? How could I not be angry? I live in a country that's run by complete boobs.
Yes, I'm aware of the term. The terminology has changed for boobs. Well, Okay, so Ivan is
My
going
what-
to... Basically, Ivan is going to lend his ear to the man to hear him out. That way, if he's talking to just him, he won't have... he will leave Manny alone.
Ah, smart.
Yes.
Okay, it's like,
Please keep...
beyond that, I work people
Please
I
keep
work
talking.
with. I cannot believe that they still have a job there. I really can't.
Are you not boss?
I'm not quite the boss, but I'm a boss. These people just happen to be the same position I am, so I can't get rid of them. If it
What
was
do
up
you-
to me, they'd be going in a second.
What do you do for a living?
Oversee some. I actually did not. Give me a second.
I'm sorry if I'm playing
I
this
didn't
game.
think anyone was going to bother to actually talk to this guy more than trying
Well, like
to get
I-
him to fucking stop.
Well, like I said, I saw a miserable guy, and I thought about how miserable my character is and how lonely he is. So he thought maybe he could relate to him in some way. Maybe
okay.
that was a mistake because he did
Yes,
not
I-
learn about the racist part.
Okay, so I oversee my company cans food. Pretty lucrative business these days.
I think I might have fumbled around one of those cans foods of yours. I ate plenty of beans in cans in my journey on the sea. They're good, I'd say.
Of course the product is going to be good. People wouldn't be buying them otherwise, and if people weren't buying them, well, we wouldn't be in business. Of course, I'm still surprised we're in business considering the complete and other incompetence that I have to deal with on a daily basis.
May
So,
I
this
offer
guy-
you something to drink?
So this guy, not like we could have anything that takes the edge off because of the prohibition. All I can have is this awful root beer nonsense. Hornswoggle, if you ask me.
Hornswoggle, yes. Well, there are other ways to get high. No, wait, maybe get high is the term from the 1920s. Never mind.
Pause.
There are
If you would like the term for that, there actually is one. God damn it, where was it? I literally had it.
get buzz. Is he suggested?
Not get buzz. God damn it.
Oh
what-
wait, I can just say what he said. There are other ways to get the edge off. He's going to take his glass of salt water, heavily salt water, and sniff it, like inhaling the smell of salt water very strongly.
Look at you. What you got there?
It is just normal glass of salt water. I live in sea. The smell of the sea gives the edge off of me. Without fail, in the last 20 years. Smell it. It might be what you need. Do inhale.
Okay. He smells it more out of curiosity than anything else.
Yes, no, he has to smell it real hard. He has to let the salt water, the smell of salt water really reach high up in his nostrils and his brain. Like a sense of vertigo for all the...
No, he is not going to stick with it that long.
Okay, well, it's just an attempt.
Like, he takes a sniff and is like, what are you talking about? He's just like,
I guess it works. I guess it doesn't. I guess it not works for everybody.
I need to tip a few. I need to get smoked.
You want cigarette?
No,
He
I
wants
don't
a
want a
no.
butt. I need to get smoked.
I thought. Well, I thought. Wait. Hold on. You want?
You
want-
has been baffled.
Broken Madhog.
Hold on. You want to smoke butts?
I mean, that is a proper sentence in this time period.
Yes.
I need a drink. A drink. That's what being smoked means. To be drunk.
Oh, I see now. It is a case of cultural faux pas, it would seem.
Got another boob. And I mean anyone with half a brain to talk to me. I mean, we have the damn God damn it, where is it? We have the damn dinge over on piano.
What's
Ain't gonna get no intelligent conversation there. We got this guy behind the counter. I can maybe get like a word from him. We have the
we have this
I'm
guy.
sorry. We have the pro skirt over there.
Oh,
with,
that's the.
bringing food to everyone. So of course there's not a brain in there.
Ooh.
Oh,
So do people make you angry?
Yes, I guess people do make me angry because not a goddamn smart one anywhere.
So if nobody is smart as you are, that means that you cannot talk to anybody. That means you are not happy with anybody.
Just get out of my face.
ooh, struck a nerve there.
Maybe problem isn't people. Maybe problem is closer than you might think. Just food for thought. Is that an expression in the 20s? I have to ask.
Food for thought.
Yes.
No.
Probably not.
Just a thought. And it's
God
going
damn
to
it.
leave.
Hold on, I'm looking for a specific term here because I literally
This-
had it.
You know,
Half this campaign is
half
going
this
to
campaign is going through the lingos and terminology of the 1920s, and that's a lot of fun.
Fade. Just fade away.
Just what?
fade away.
Fade away.
Fade away.
I think he's telling you to go away.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
it wasn't. Food for thought is from, as far as we know, originally from the 1985.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be the 80s.
Ah, yes. But which 80s? The 1880s or the 1980s?
1985.
Yes, I know, because the 80s in the 1920s will be the 1880s. Obviously.
I mean, for us, 80s is 1880s, so...
And at this point, as you see him like starting to raise a ruckus, you know, you see Henry just kind of raising eyebrow and start you know, walking in his general direction. And you see him sit down like immediately, you know, quiet down.
Good on you, Henry.
Thanks,
You're one of the
Henry.
good- You're one of the good ones.
And he just
Good one, Henry.
you know, looks back at you and kind of gives you a subtle nod.
I nod back to him. We shared a
Yeah.
moment there.
Okay, and at this point, Kathy comes to check on you. It's like, so do you guys need anything else? Looking for any dessert today? Need refilling any of those drinks? Like, if I had to make a suggestion, maybe not go talk to
To whom?
Mr. Brown over there.
Oh yes, well, too late for that. So Henry, I mean, Ivan is going to give you the glass of water and say, Not enough salt. Go outside, take actual seawater into glass. Come back.
Like,
Wow.
listen here. That's way beyond my job description. I only bring them from what's inside here to you.
Well, in that case, can I borrow glass?
She just kind of blinks at you. It's like just kind of looks towards Henry, like she has no idea how to respond to this.
Jonathan
And you
actually
see,
stopped.
Henry just kind of motioning, with with like a hand motion, like the coin hand motion, and she's just like, "Sure, I guess if you pay the amount, 2 drinks will let you have the glass."
That is deal. Is that a term in the 20s? I have to ask. I'm sorry.
I mean, that's not necessarily a slang term. So, I mean, deals have been around for have been a term for older than the 20s. So, yes.
Okay. You have deal. So I'm going to so since I order salt water, I need to balance it out by ordering what's a drink in the 1920s that's not alcoholic besides root beer?
They have cola.
They really? Is that old?
Yep.
Yes.
By the way, if you ordered a Coca-Cola, it came with real cocaine.
Yes, it did.
Okay. And that was legal, huh? Interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, it was totally legal back then.
So I'm going to... Yeah, opium was legal too.
Yes.
Different priorities. So, okay. Bring me cola. Put salt in it.
Salt cola.
She looks at you again, like... she shakes her head and like, we have a real nutcase today.
Not nutcase. Just
Case.
foreigner. Just different.
He's salty.
Different.
Oh, you seem salty one to me.
How about any of the rest of you? Do you need anything else?
No, I think I'm good, but I'm sorry, mademoiselle, that you have to deal with him.
Ivan gives you not a menacing look, but a relatively mean one. As in, what is that supposed to mean?
He just kind of just just waves his hand like as if it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. He's a bit of
Eccentric.
like compared to William over there, he is nothing.
I guess that's true.
I guess I need to talk with William next.
William is the guy that you talk to.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I thought that was the quote-unquote well-dressed guy.
They're not Larry.
That's
Oh, that's
Larry.
All right, that's Larry. I'm confusing the Williams with the Larrys.
Ursula just says, what do you recommend for dessert?
Oh, if I had to recommend anything, a nice simple chocolate cake.
You hold
if
on.
Or if you're new to America, well, there's nothing more American than apple pie.
Okay, so Ivan is going to lit up. You have cake.
Yes, we have cake.
Have not ate cake since childhood.
Well, do you want me to bring you a cake then, big boy?
Give me all the cake.
Just to
I think we'll
clarify,
start with one piece, and then if you're still hungry, we'll go for another.
just to clarify, was the U.S. government paying all of our bills here?
Yes.
Bring us all the cake.
I would like to have a slice of cake as well, ma'am.
I cannot say
two
no
cakes?
to a nice chocolate cake, so please bring me a piece.
Chocolate.
Since I'm here, I might as well have a slice of your apple
Oh,
pie.
Honestly, Ross, you should have led with cake.
Instead, the cake is a lie.
It's too early for that.
I know.
Well, now if I was going to do that joke, you completely killed it.
I'm sorry.
You know, there has to be more than one joke related to cake. Yes, for example, that guy from Heroes that says cake before the door closes and he kills people. I don't remember. I never watched that show, actually. Never mind.
Okay, so yeah, that was not exactly the best thing to bring up then. Anyway,
What do you get if you eat 3.14 cakes?
A stupid math problem.
No, you get fat.
Aww.
you're not
What
wrong.
did the cake say to the fork?
Get me off this fork.
Do you want a piece of me?
Okay.
That is terrible.
Cree.
What do jokesters eat for breakfast?
No more.
Pancakes.
Okay, I'm going to try to speed this along since it's starting to get late.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
We're
So,
having
Kathy-
fun, but
I know, Kat. I know you definitely are. Like, I'm
And
glad.
we are
I
being
was honestly
educational.
really concerned that you guys weren't going to care about any of these NPCs that I made, and I'm going to be like, well, I spent all that time for nothing.
Yeah. Anyway. So yeah.
It's
I
like,
think-
she brings you cake, and it's like, oh, one last thing before you go back for the night. I don't know where you're going in the city, but you might want to stay away from the Hell's Kitchen plot. While
Hell's
it
Kitchen?
hasn't been, while it hasn't been in the papers yet, if there's been some word going around that there's been some right grisly stuff happening down there. People going missing. So, so maybe try to stay away, keep your business away from there if you have any choice.
Yes, thanks for the warning.
yes.
I don't-
But
Yes,
Like-
it is best to avoid such areas. I don't
Yeah.
see any reason why we would even need to go there.
my character, my Gaston will go like, "Thank you for the warning, mademoiselle. Also, thank you for serving us tonight." And he kisses her hand in the Frenchy way possible.
Ooh, oh my.
well, you can get away with that in the 20s, lucky for you.
Would you perhaps be doing anything later?
Oh my.
Yes!
We have a romantic subplot.
No, I wouldn't call it romantic, but yes.
I mean, with the character I'm playing as, being promiscuous is in my character.
Yes, you are a regular Pepe Le Pew, we get it.
Well, it's in the culture as well at the time.
It's more of a... I mean, the American stereotype of the Frenchman is basically a rapist?
Yeah, not in France. It was very in French it was very like very open, like hey,
I'm
let's have a
am
good time.
aware. I'm aware that France has a very healthy relationship with sex in general, but you come from America. America is very, very repressed. On the other hand, so
Anyway, Gaston is like look like he's considering it and goes like it depends. Why are you free tonight, mademoiselle?
My shift happens to end in a couple hours, and I don't necessarily have anything planned. I usually work in the evening, so it's not like I have to be up super early. And my apartment is not a long walk from here.
I think that might be. I think it might be nice to get to know the locals, so to speak. So,
Yes, it sounds like you seem like a very interesting man who have a lot of stories to tell.
you could say I have a I've read a few, and I have a great appreciation for art and cultures.
Oh, that's so sexy, art and culture. It is in the 1920s, especially.
It's all about the curvatures.
And now you play them.
No, tell you what. You just see her point to a clock that's up at the wall. Like, my shift ends in about an hour and a half. Meet me down here then.
Of course.
All right, don't be late.
I will try not to be. Don't
No,
keep
you
me
have-
waiting either.
You have to sing it. Don't keep me waiting.
And she just kind of shoots you another wink, and goes back to bushing tables with a little skip in her step.
Yes, by the way, you
She
said
did- she
it's the
did-
1920s, but which year? Specifically?
1924
1924.
specifically.
Ah, Felix the cat is rising to the top.
Yeah. So Gaston basically goes like, she did look like she needed a little something. Poor thing.
Say, it's New York. Do you think we might be able to see some movies?
Yeah, Ursula just says to Gaston, just don't hurt her.
Please, I detest such disgusting acts. It's not beautiful or artistic.
It's not manly. It is not
It's not like being a bimbo.
It is not. It is. Yes! Bimbo meant the exact opposite back then of what it means today. I freaking love it! I love this! There is a character from the Fleischer Pantheon that's literally named Bimbo, Bimbo the dog, and Bimbo means basically tough guy,
Yes.
which is amazing. I love it. How did it change to mean shallow blonde woman?
I have no idea.
Language is a fascinating subject.
Oh, do you know how fascinating it is? Bimbo is one of the Italian words for child.
Interesting.
Okay,
But-
so trying to again speed things along a bit. So
Yeah.
the rest of you finished your cake and are perfectly sated, and the fatigue of your trip definitely has set in at this point.
Oof.
The bed seems like it's calling to you. And Michael is just like,
It is the call of Cthulhu.
and Michael is like, how about we call it a day at this point? It seems like you two are, seems like the rest of you are starting to get weary from your travels.
No, that that I am. Though I do have a engagement, so to speak, to get to at some point.
Alright, just meet back here at 8 a.m.
Do not worry. I am anything but punctual.
I'm going to
Not
ask.
particularly good. We're leaving at 8 a.m. If you're not with us, then we stop paying. Very
Do
simple.
Do not worry. I be here at 8 a.m.
I'm going to ask Michael a very simple question, but a very important one nonetheless.
Okay.
When can I find these movies I hear so much about?
Well, hopefully we'll have a little bit of free time during the weekend to go see one.
What is popular nowadays?
Oh Christ!
I know. You said it's 1924, so it's going
1924
to.
should still be in the silent era at this point.
Yeah.
Yes,
Still like
yes.
silent.
The
So it
first.
should be the Marx Brothers. Probably the Marx Brothers.
Ooh, nice. Ah, wait. Do we get to catch some of the early comedies by Laurel and Hardy?
Probably.
Yes.
I don't know if they that far back at 1924.
Yes, they pretty much started around that time, methinks. They reached their
Well, they
peak.
may not have been. Oh, that was their
no,
peak.
no, 1927.
All right.
No, there are comedies with them that date back to 1925.
Okay, well, this is 1924.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
I
So
wasn't
I guess
sure.
it would be the Marx Brothers. I know the
Okay.
Marx Brothers were around that time.
They better
Yeah.
play a Felix cartoon before that.
Well, we will see.
Oh,
Thank you.
do we get the full silent movie experience with the small
With someone on
orchestra? Yes, with the small orchestra playing the soundtrack on the spot
Yes.
of the film that does
Yeah.
not have a soundtrack. Yes.
Yep,
that
that's
is
how
so
it would
good.
be.
Yes, that
Okay,
is so
anyway,
good.
so you go to bed mildly excited over the prospect of finally getting to see a movie.
Yes, he heard so much about it, but he's never seen one because he's been out at sea.
Mhm.
Actually,
But-
he heard that the cinema is making great absolute waves in his home country of Soviet Russia. You know, with Sergei Eisenstein and Ziga Vertov and all the other masters of the craft that pretty much defined what cinema is an art at the time. Yes.
Your film buff is showing. Anyway,
My
Yeah.
film student
Anyway.
credentials, yes.
Let's carry
okay,
on,
so,
Ross.
Madhog that sounds so happy when he gets to geek out over
Yes.
old movies and show his
Anyway,
cinematography muscle.
Well, aren't you happy when you get to talk about the things you like?
Obviously.
Yes.
There you go.
okay. So everyone retires to their chambers with the exception, of course, of Gaston.
Yes.
Okay, but
And
before
a
that, it's
absolutely
important to
lovely
conclude an
evening
arc here. It's
with-
important to
Oh, no.
conclude. It's
You're
important that okay.
Sorry, he was spending an absolutely lovely evening with Miss Kathy. Let's see
Lovely.
how lovely it was.
Roll for
Oh,
performance.
my.
Should I be rolling for anything?
Not you do not need the roll for anything. She
Okay,
seems to be fairly smitten with you, but hasn't gotten beyond just playful banter.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
I-
are French, so first you need to roll a 1d10 plus 4.
All right. In the meantime, everyone else rests
Hold
up
up.
in the room after the yes.
Hold up, Ross. Before going to
Hold
his
your
room,
horses.
hold your seahorses, mate. Before going to his bedroom, Hiban is going to take a stroll to the bay, take his glass, put ocean water in it, smell it, and then
It
go
smells
to his
awful.
room. It smells like home. He offered, you know, all this time I forgot I have the parrot on my shoulder. This entire time.
No, you okay, the water out there is polluted to all hell. It smells awful.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
smell.
And you drank that.
No, I did
No,
not
he didn't
drink
drink
it. I
it.
smelled
He
it.
sniffed it.
No, you didn't drink it yet.
Alright, you
I'm going
sniffed
to
it.
smell it and
So it
says
smells more like sewer water than ocean water.
he's going to smell it and says, "Smells like death. Tomorrow will be bad.
Ooh. Ominous.
A storm is coming."
A storm is here!
Look up.
Oh,
Nice.
man.
Nice weather we're having.
No, it isn't.
Well,
That was the entire point of the campaign. 'Cause no,
I'm sorry. Does the concept of sarcasm not exist in the 20s?
I mean, with
Man,
with the Russian accent, it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Okay. well,
I make joke. I'm hilarious.
Okay. Okay.
You will
well,
laugh at everything I say.
Okay. We need to tie things up, I
okay,
think.
so going to the next day. Again, I'm gonna have to put a lot of this on speed run to get.
Okay, Ross. Dawn of
yeah.
the second day.
So everything went well with me on the night, I guess.
Yes. Again, you had a pleasant conversation, exchanged some flirty banter, maybe got a little bit of touchy feely, and that's about as far as it
That's good then. Yeah, we got just got to have a bit of fun. Nothing too serious.
Okay, so the next morning you manage to make it there by 8. You feel
I do
very,
as well. I would
fatigued,
like.
from for not resting as much, and all of the travel that you went through. So you're not feeling great this morning. The gloomy weather certainly isn't helping anything either.
Oh, the weather, it really affects me. No.
It is oddly relaxing. Reminds me of sea during turbulence.
Mind you,
Slept like an angel.
Mind you, Skegness.
Yes.
Jonathan slept like a corpse.
That's one way of putting it. So
That's
Ross,
foreshadowing.
what's going to be going on this
Okay,
morning?
so Michael escorts you in his car and drives out to a specific place. Towards a port. It's like, we're going to be heading out to the Central Island today to show you what kind of nonsense you can expect from your instruments. So he basically, gets a porter to take him over on a small ferry. This isn't usually an island that people go to, but he has government backing and whatnot, so people are doing it.
Is that a real island, or is it just fantasy?
I mean, honestly, there are some tiny unmanned islands. So I don't have one in specific, but I'm certain though if I really, really looked for it, I could find one that would fit the bill.
I mean, the island in real life, the island used to be there, but isn't anymore.
Stupid climate change. Anyway, so you arrive there, and you see, as he said, 3 sets of instruments. Upon each of them is a thermometer and barometer, along with a gauge to measure the amount of rain. So he just motion to see for yourself. I don't even need to check what they say because I know it's going to be wrong.
Okay, so I guess I'll check as well. So even though I'm just an architect.
Yes, the architect. The architect is the first one to check the instruments. That makes sense.
Okay. The architect looks at the pressure. It's just pressure. He has no idea what that means. But the temperature is something that definitely does. It's reading that it's 172 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, I don't get all this, but one of them says 100 degrees. It doesn't feel like it.
Fahrenheit, so that's
100 Fahrenheit. Sorry, I'm too used to degrees.
172 Fahrenheit. Yeah.
It's 50.5 degrees of Celsius.
That's
deadly. That is enough that you would not be able to walk here without being in mortal danger, and you definitely don't feel like you're in mortal danger.
This does not make sense. I do not feel this heat that it says that I should
the
be
pressure
feeling.
is also reading 10.1 inches, which is impossibly low. Usually it's around 30 inches or so.
What does it actually feel like, the temperature?
It feels normal. It feels like maybe like 60-ish Fahrenheit.
So
I hate to kiss.
again, I'm sorry to say this, Ross, but you are the only American in this chat, and all of us use Celsius.
I understand, but this is set in America.
I know, but you should translate Fahrenheit to Celsius so that we Europeans, our characters are not from America, aside from the Native American.
Okay,
so-
let me give you a translation of 60 Fahrenheit.
It's
Give me 1
15 and
second.
half Celsius.
Can't we just be smart enough in character to basically become... We're supposed to be smart people!
Smart? No.
I mean, in character, I am the only one originally from the States here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I almost forgot. No, I didn't forget. I'm confusing you. So I'm somehow confusing you with the pregnant woman. I don't know why.
And what makes this even stranger is all 3 of the sets of instruments are giving the same reading.
Hmm.
Could
I
the storm be affecting the instruments?
Well,
Madness.
That's about the only thing that would make any type of sense, but even then, it's not like it's giving us anything that's not complete gibberish.
I hate to say this, but my night with Kathy was a lot more hot compared to this.
well, there isn't to be honest, there isn't much of a storm to speak of at least of yet. So, what does it is very, very strange what causes these false readings.
I couldn't tell you, honestly.
Do you think...
That's why we called you Jensen.
What about birds?
Birds?
You said
Yes.
balloons disappear in clouds. Do flying birds disappear too in clouds?
I don't rightly know. I haven't actually looked at that.
That is a good point of observation, Ivan. The animals tend to be a lot
Ivan
more.
feels validated. Thank you.
The animals tend to have
The damn baminals.
Be much better at when it comes to noticing small changes in weather patterns. Has there been any such kind of reactions?
Well, lucky for all of you, I happen to have a bird.
I'm not a bird watcher myself, so I haven't noticed. So it's not something I've been looking at, honestly. But it's a good thought. It's something that I hadn't considered.
It is more than that. For example, dogs tend to wish to escape when seen as a warning of an upcoming earthquake. They notice the small quakes of earth much more easily than humans do.
I mean,
Is that a known scientific fact about dogs in the 1920s?
I mean, you could have heard folklore.
I'm not quite sure, honestly.
I mean, it's one of those things you could have heard folklore about that sort of thing. That would be fair game.
Yeah, for Native Americans as well.
Yeah, it's just like, well, I'm stumped, so it's worth looking into. But of course, it's not like I have a zoo full of animals to just observe on this.
New York has a zoo.
I'm just going to casually point to my domesticated parrot on my shoulder.
You think you can get that thing to go up there and actually peer into the cloud?
It can most certainly try. This is very special bird.
To be honest, I would recommend not, because who knows what might happen if he does not come back.
If it does not come back, I'm free from curse. So it's a win anyway. Never you mind.
Must be a Russian thing.
That is a legitimate concern, considering that none of the weather balloons that went into the cloud returned.
Who
knows what kind of pressure and electrical activity is going on in there? And Jonathan is going to take out his binoculars and use them to take a closer look at the cloud. Now that we are at the epicenter.
I really, really, really hate to ask this. I really hate to ask this. Were there binoculars in the 1920s? I don't remember.
I know they used them in the Second World War. I'm pretty sure they were available in the First World War too.
Yes, I think they were.
So,
I seem to... never mind then.
let me look this up, but I'm pretty sure that they were available at that time. Okay, so yeah, they've been in existence since 1681. So yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
We're learning
Well,
about
then,
so many
my
things about
research-
the
I'm done.
items.
the
Okay,
research did not fail me.
Never
Okay,
say you.
well,
this is a very good history of history lesson that we are providing.
Okay, I know this is easily the most educational game I have ever run by my attempts to be even remotely historically accurate.
I know, right? So let's see what's going to happen next.
Okay, so
Do I see anything?
Oh well.
And is
What you
Madhog going
see
to
is
launch his
that
bird?
you stare into the cloud, and it's strange. Like the longer you stare at, the more unsettled that you get. In fact, you can almost start hearing like whisperings, even though that like you it doesn't match the voices of anyone that's near you. Make a. Actually, I will make the check.
Uh-oh.
So yes, how it's going to work with sanity points is that I will actually make the checks in secret because it's a static number that it's going to be checked applying all of your modifiers, and then if you do not make it, then I will let you roll for how much sanity points you lose.
Oh
Uh-oh.
boy.
So we're kind of doing this in reverse than normal. It's fun.
Yes, it's fun for the DM.
Well, it keeps you in. The idea is to keep you in suspense.
I mean, I
I mean,
remember
yeah,
my.
it makes sense
it-
because the whole point of the cosmic horrors is that everything is outside of your control. So it makes perfect sense thematically that you're not responsible for your own actions in a D&D game.
Well,
Okay,
good thing
so-
I have my advantage.
Yes, and your advantage has come in handy too. So you do not take any sanity damage.
Oh, good.
That's good for you then. Gaston is probably going to say like, the tapestry of the world
But
has
you
been
feel
corrupted.
like you need to. You after you resist it, though, you feel that you need to stop looking at it immediately.
The tapestry of the world has been corrupted, has it not?
I lower my binoculars and rub my eyes with my fingers.
John, you okay, John?
Yes, I am fine, but
You just seemed like you went up in the clouds, literally, so to speak.
Ho ho ho! I'm French.
What do your Native American eyes see?
Oh, boo!
Oh.
I do not believe that was in character.
No, it wasn't.
Good, because that would have been kind of racist.
yes, similar to how Aragorn says that to Legolas's ears. What are your elf ears or eyes or whatever it was the line?
Okay.
Yes, it's pretty bad.
Yep.
Anyway,
Well,
So,
Okay.
what did you see, John?
nothing really, though the way the clouds move, the geometrical patterns are trying to give me a headache.
Maybe it's best not to look for too long then.
Indeed, but it does look like it does. Well, it seems to be nothing more than a creepy-looking cloud.
but okay, so after that, he decides to take you to some other sites throughout the city that have instruments in them, and you're still getting wildly inaccurate in readings, but they're not as fantastical as what you are seeing there. They're more like, maybe I'll be reading a pressure of like 40 instead of 30, and a temperature of maybe like 23 Fahrenheit when it's really like 60 out, not as drastically off, but still very much inaccurate.
So it emanates from that island.
Yes. Are the readings of the instruments, are they always same at the same distance from the epicenter? Like, is the pressure and temperature always the same?
It's always the same for different instruments in the same area, but it still differs wildly from day to day.
Is it much higher at night or during the day?
It seems to be completely random.
By the way, are all these sites like outside, or are some of them indoors?
They're all outside.
Okay, I just want to make sure because just in case.
So, like I said, this is what we've been dealing with, fellas. It's right crazy.
This is quite the puzzle.
Yes. Very peculiar.
So that's why all of our boys have been stumped on him. Why we had to ask your assistance.
Has any of the factories changed recently what they're pumping out?
Actually, yes. That was the last thing that we checked before you arrived. We thought maybe one of the factories might be using some kind of new chemicals or something, and that's what spawned this cloud. So we literally went to all of them and double-checked their records, but no one's been using anything unusual.
What if
Go on, Madhog.
What if record is lie?
I don't know of any chemical that could cause this to begin with, but even if it were a lie, I don't think just one factory lying could have this effect. In order to produce an effect like that, it would have to be all of them lying, and I don't think that's the case. They're all owned by independent people.
Ha! Independent. That's a laugh.
They're owned independently by different people.
Yeah, I mean that's hysterical considering what capitalism will look like a few decades down the line.
What about where exactly did this cloud come from? Did it just form above New York, or did the winds bring it from somewhere else?
It's in the form above the city. Again, this is what I've just gathered from talking to people, because this is before I came in to study it.
Did it form just above the island first and then it spread, or?
The island seems to be its center, so it's quite possible it started there, though it wasn't small enough that you could immediately see where it started to come from.
So has it been expanding?
I don't know if it's been expanding, but it's definitely been thickening.
Messieurs and mademoiselle, it seems that we have our work cut out for us.
Is that a 20s expression?
Cut out for us?
Let's just translate.
Look, when you keep doing this, it's going to be just, is that a 20s expression? Is that a 20 expression every 20 seconds?
Are you only noticing now that it's a recurring gag?
No, I've noticed it all night. Bogs the game down.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna try to, again, we're on speed mode right now, Seth. We're gonna try
Speed
to
run.
Yes. So
I'm going to insert the cheat codes. I'm going to clip through the wall and get to the last level in Ocarina of Time.
No, we're not doing that. Okay, so Michael's like, well, it's starting to get late today. What I think we should do is maybe actually see what we can about that whole animal thing that you're coming. See if we can find someone that still trains carrier pigeons or something, and see what happens when we take one of them up there.
Doesn't New York have a zoo? Did it have one in the 1920s?
That's a good question. I honestly do not know if the New York Zoo was there at that point. I can find out.
I am not too keen on the idea of mindlessly sacrificing animals.
No, I'm not either. But
And
basically,
the reason why I propose the parrot is because it is a very special parrot. Given the unique circumstances of the animal in question, the cloud might not be as effective on him as it might be on any other living being.
Central Park Zoo opened in 1864 for the menagerie, and 1934 for the zoo itself.
Oh.
Oh, so we could go there and see if there have been any changes, any animals reacting oddly. Because
Yes.
the Jonathan's idea was not to just get some random animal from the zoo and shoot it into the cloud. Was just
Well, that was my idea. Don't be stealing my cool ideas.
Jonathan's idea was to study, see if there have been animals reacting weirdly due to the weather to give us clues of what exactly is going on.
But more interestingly, how differently would they react the closer they are to ground zero?
I also think that we need to take a tour of the levees too. So our friend here, Gaston, can look at the infrastructure and see if it is up to code. Should it begin raining?
yes, I think that would be best.
All right. So, but
As
right
they
now,
are.
you
yes.
see him kind of checking his pocket watch again. For now, we should probably call it a day. It's getting close to sundown. I have business to attend to this evening, so I won't be able to join you in the lounge. But have a good time nonetheless.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes, thank you. You have yourself a good evening as well.
Ivan has date with chocolate cake.
I have date with 2 kinds of cake.
Ivan get the innuendo.
Sadly, so do I.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Jonathan doesn't say anything.
Okay, so
As we are all driving back, I assume that we have a car to take us anywhere we need.
A turnabout! I'll steal it! No one will ever know!
As we are being driven back to the hotel, Jonathan will pull out his pen and notebook and does pretty much doing a mind map to put up that what do we know of the situation, what are the symptoms possible, and pretty much just try to and that what could be causing all of this.
Yeah, Ursula's doing something similar, making notes.
Yes, you're going to retreat in your mind palace to check out all the information.
I mean, it's I think more the 3 meteorologists in the group are having a brainstorming session.
Yeah,
which continues into the lounge as we arrive.
So Ursula's a chemist and you're a meteorologist, and yet you're both taking notes and sharing them.
Yes.
Also, I like.
Yes.
I like this. The 2 of you are being eggheads, and then there's me and Evan being, kind of just ourselves.
So is being eggheads equate to actually doing our goddamn job in the 1920s?
I mean, Gaston is an architect, so he doesn't have probably doesn't have much to add, and Ivan is.
Ivan is a meteorologist and a quite accomplished one at that, believe it or not. So
I mean, yes. Then you can join the brainstorming session.
So you spend your evening in the lounge brainstorming over what it may or may not be, comparing notes, making hypotheses, ordering food from Kathy, and then of course Kathy seems to be flirting with Gaston to see her after work.
No one flirts like Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston is like, making sure she's okay, like as if just to see how her day was.
She wants to tell you all about it after work.
Oh, okay. Well, he's willing to listen.
Oh, I'm sure he is. All right. So again, we're in speedrun mode. So
Yeah, I know. I was speedrunning it as
okay.
well.
So we'll see how well you do tonight.
Not as good, huh?
Mm.
Oh dear.
You say something completely wrong.
I must have brought up the wrong literature.
You brought up the wrong topic, and she basically says, I'm sorry, I have a headache. I'm not feeling well right now.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll
see you
just
tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll just be respectful and go like, oh, of course. I'll see you tomorrow. You take care.
I am interested actually in the local waters. I'm aware of the reason why they are officially polluted. But if only there was a way to compare the quality of the water with the quality of the cloud itself, somehow.
Well, I mean, you can take a sample of the water for later use.
I can do that, but I'm brainstorming, trying to figure out how to get actual sample of the
Wow.
rain, of the cloud rain.
Well, it hasn't rained yet, so
I know, but it looks, by all intents and purposes, it looks like a very weird rain cloud.
Yes.
It's almost as if a storm is coming. You know?
Okay. Anyway, so the next day, because we're speeding through this, you meet
The dawn of the third day.
Yes.
Yes,
So
24 hours remain.
So you once again meet Manny, who this time he's not so chipper this morning. He invites you all into the car like usual. It seems like something's on his mind, but he's not being very talkative as he starts driving.
yes.
And,
Did our brainstorming session lead into anything?
you have some just
ideas.
You have some hypotheses, but nothing
We
that you
need
can
the
really test at
scientific
this point.
method. We need we have
So
our
basically,
theory. We need the praxis.
you have a good 10 different hypotheses between you that you would all need to test, but like nothing that you can narrow down in a capacity.
Yeah.
Michael, my friend, is there something on your mind?
He just kind of mutters to himself.
Did William get rude again?
You know that he actually wasn't in the bar the lounge last night. So
Was William in the lounge or Manny?
William was in the lounge, but Michael
wasn't. He had something else to do.
So he takes you back to the port actually.
Okay, here's the thing. You said Manny, but you meant Michael earlier on.
He meant Michael.
That is why I was confused.
Manny's the pianist.
Yes, I'm sorry, Michael.
We can't have a game without there being a Manny. That is the legacy of many times.
Many times, legacy will live on forever.
And he books the boat back to the central island.
I guess we're going there again. What about all the aminals?
Well, you definitely have questions in your head about that, but Michael seems to be.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to study
Michael?
the behavior of my parrot in the close vicinity of the cloud. If it's more agitated or less compared to when it was at a certain distance.
Well, if you had a normal parrot, you might be able to get readings that were somewhat discernible.
Yeah,
You do not have a normal parrot.
Yes, but since I don't have a normal parrot, and does the parrot actually wants to go inside the cloud? Because that's the kind of behavior that would be more interested in.
The parrot seems to be neutral to it at this point.
He has no strong feelings one way or the
Or the
other.
other.
He's from the neutral.
Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. Oh, by the way, feeding time. I
Okay,
give
so
you all
you-
earplugs.
Okay, so you finally arrive on the island, and at this point, you all are getting concerned because Manny has barely
Michael.
Michael?
Michael, God damn it, Michael has barely spoken a word since you got in the car and in the boat.
Michael's
And,
possessed.
he's usually a more talkative type. He's kind of on the awkward side at points, but he's at least friendly and cordial.
Michael, you
It's
need to
almost like
tell
he's-
us something.
Is there something different about Michael this morning other than his attitude?
His attitude seems to be all that you can notice at this point.
But so there's nothing wrong with his appearance.
Well, he does seem to be wearing the same thing that he wore yesterday. I mean, you don't know if it's he has multiple of the same outfit or not. I mean, you haven't known him terribly long.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's see where this is going.
He's either possessed or he's a fake.
Or maybe he's, something completely mundane, like, broke up with his girlfriend, or...
This is
depressed.
Call of Cthulhu!
I mean,
We
it
don't
could
know
be.
that in character.
It could be a red herring, for all you know.
Yeah, come on, let's see what happens. So where's Michael going exactly?
Call of
No.
Cthulhu. Letters
So
for
he
me.
goes out to the island.
Yeah,
Dang.
back to the island.
Okay, so he's at the island. He looks at the instruments. Again, he's getting absolute nonsense from them, just like every other day.
Are the instruments showing different numbers
Yes.
from yesterday?
Correct.
Are they all
Still
high
wildly
on the...
different. Like one is saying -20. They're saying -20 Fahrenheit for temperature, and they are also saying that the atmospheric pressure is 80 inches.
And I thought Kathy gave me a cold shoulder last night. Because the weather's giving me cold.
He just looks at them, and he becomes suddenly enraged. He just literally smashes all of them to the ground.
Ursula is instantly a bit worried.
Okay.
Having bad day.
Okay, I'm just gonna go like, Michael, calm down.
Yeah, I find these actions highly out of proportions.
Like there's
Michael.
nothing logical here. Nothing makes sense.
Michael, did you
Nothing
sleep
at
all
all.
last night? Michael, you've been working so hard ever since you came here, right?
He's breathing heavily. You see nothing but anger and frustration, and maybe something else on his face. You can't tell immediately.
How about you sit down and calm down a little bit?
Yes, sit down.
Calm down.
And steady
Calm
breathe.
down. I'll
Breathe
show
in.
you what calming down looks like. He pulls a knife.
Oh shit!
So I am going to yell at everybody to put on their earplugs.
Well, John doesn't have one.
Yes, I don't
I'm
have
right-
earplugs.
I am going to tell him to cover his ear.
What?
I'm going
Why?
Okay,
Call-
well,
call-
hold on. Here's the
Because-
thing.
because I'm releasing the parrot.
Okay, you see, the parrot is not supposed to be something to be weaponized.
Well, I know, but I have it, and he's
And
human.
trust me, it will not do much in this situation. You can't drive someone that's insane or more insane.
Good point.
I see.
Thank you for spoiling the surprise, Ross.
Look,
I mean, he just pulled a knife, so I mean,
Are you Cthulhu, Madhog?
Yes, I was Cthulhu all along, obviously. No, my parrot is Cthulhu, isn't that clear? Jesus.
I mean,
okay. So I have initiative order rolled out.
oh,
All right.
wait. Oh, we are already jumping into combat.
Yes, he has pulled
The
a knife,
one
and he seems to
thing-
have the intention to use it.
It's the one thing you did not want to happen.
Now, just to let you know, we are doing basically a 4 hit point system. So basically, 8 damage that you take will reduce you by 1 hit point. So,
Is this separate from sanity?
correct. So, if your hit points become 0, you are dead.
So we all
Oh.
have 4.
Each time that you take damage, it represents, a stage of injury, essentially.
And we all have 4.
Correct.
I was not expecting a battle, to be honest, because I thought we was going to be like,
Well,
I mean,
Avoiding
I'm
combat.
trying, but sometimes combat is unavoidable.
so who goes first then?
So, first on the initiative is Ursula, actually.
Oh shit!
Ursula,
oh no. We need to protect the baby.
We don't know about the baby.
No one knows about the baby except for me.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. As player.
Okay, so,
That's metagaming.
So Michael is looking at you with a crazy glint in his eyes, and he
What's
has
around me?
you just the shattered remains of the instruments and maybe some rocks on the ground.
How big are the instruments? Can I chuck them?
You can chuck shards of them at him.
Or a rock.
Yeah.
They're basically about as effective as a rock, although they might slash him instead of bludgeoning him.
I'll try throwing a rock at his head.
Okay. So we now are going to... I'm going to have you roll an attack roll against him.
Is that D20?
Yes. So D20 add nothing.
Okay, 18.
And that's pretty good. You pelt him straight on the head. He seems to be bleeding. But he does not seem to be standing down.
Alright, is that all the actions I get then?
Correct. So next on the initiative is Madhog.
so you told me we cannot use the parrot as a weapon.
I
But
mean-
what if?
I mean,
What if-
if you... It won't do anything at this point.
But what if I just send the parrot to fly around his head so that he will be distracted by it?
You take the risk of it killing him potentially being able to kill the parrot. The
But
parrot
the
has 1 hit point.
Well,
So
What?
if it takes damage, it is gone.
what if I throw the parrot and trying to hit him in the eye?
You incur the same risk.
Oh
Okay.
wow, Madhog, you really wanted to.
He wants to parrot missile.
Are we really doing this in 1920? Animal cruelty?
I mean, yes, it's the
Yes.
1920s.
That's so unsightly.
So,
Paul.
Ross, I rolled for throwing the parrot at the guy to hit his face, and I rolled a natural 20.
Okay. So you hit him in the face. The parrot begins tearing into him with its claws.
Nice.
Well, it gets worse. He slashes frantically, but okay. He cuts off one of the wings of your parrot.
Oh,
Oh.
ouch.
Okay, in retribution, he finishes clawing out Michael's eyes.
Yikes!
Oh,
This is
Madhog!
this
This
escalated
is
really quickly.
this is wow. I'm glad I had this parrot. Oh my gosh!
And the
baby.
parrot is still working on him.
Oh, hold on. In this chaos, does he lose the clothing, the piece of cloth that's holding his
Madhog,
beak?
don't make it worse.
I mean, it's chaos. It might happen.
Madhog!
Let everyone else have a chance.
No, it does not.
Phew!
But now it is so next on the initiative is Michael. Okay, so he is effectively blinded and in terrible shape, and he has a creature accosting him. So he is going to take another swing at it. That's not what you wanted to see. He cleaves through the bird.
Oh.
The
Oh,
bird is dead.
Well, the bird
The
is
bird
dead.
is dead.
the bird is dead.
Dead.
It lives
It
no
is.
more.
His face is mutilated. Michael's face is completely mutilated. Like his eye, you can see into his eye sockets.
Oh no.
Ouch.
I did not
He's
want
bleeding
something this
profusely.
violent to happen, but then again, yes. Well, the parrot is
You
dead.
don't-
It's
like
sad.
he's still alive, but you don't think Michael's going to make it. What's more is just the sight of his mutilated face, bleeding, and its socketed eyes is enough to force a sanity roll for everyone.
I was fearing that. Okay,
Thanks
sorry,
a lot, Madhog.
Madhog.
Sorry, everybody. Sorry, guys, but at the very least, this was quickly resolved, wasn't it?
Madhog, I have a disadvantage with insanity.
How was I supposed to know?
So what do we roll? Just 20s?
No, I roll for you.
All right.
Good thing I get to roll twice for resisting sanity damage.
I hope that I hope Kathy's roll with me is not gonna repeat itself.
Okay, so I have good news and bad news.
Uh-oh.
no.
Uh-oh.
Oh god.
The good news is one of you has completely resisted sanity damage.
Who is it?
And,
The bad news is 3 of you didn't.
I
Oh,
bet
no.
I'm him.
who resisted it?
It was Danton.
Oh,
Oh no.
Ursula.
Of all the people.
of all the people, yes.
So
Well,
the
I-
other 3 haven't resisted.
Well, I mean,
so-
I think it makes sense. I just witnessed my only companion in the last few
Okay.
years dying horribly. So
So everyone is going to take 1 point of sanity damage.
good news,
Except
everybody.
me.
Good news, everybody. I have 1 sanity left.
Good news, everybody.
Actually, you do not get your advantage.
What? What?
Hmm?
What did you say, Ross?
Madhog, look at your advantage.
Takes 1 less point of sanity damage per instance. Oh, so nothing then. Okay.
So
Yes, everyone else does take a point of sanity damage besides
Okay,
Ursula.
so basically, even if I failed the roll, I did not lose any sanity. I am stone
In this
cold Steve
particular
Austin.
one.
Okay. Stone cold over the death of my parrot.
But my disadvantage is that whenever I take sanity damage, I take extra damage. So I lose 2.
Oh wow.
Yes,
let's see.
Can it be recovered anyway?
not easily, no. Especially not in the scope of this particular 4-session campaign, it cannot be recovered.
We are lucky to make through the
I need
second
help.
session.
Well, this is stakes, right? Stakes, everybody.
Okay, and you see
Is
eventually
Is the combat over?
Michael lets out a he's been howling in pain, but eventually his howling silences.
Is
and
the
he
combat
lays on the
over?
ground
Are we still on the turn tracker?
You technically have left combat because he is unable to do anything to you at this point.
Well, in that
He
case,
is falling unconscious.
Jonathan is immediately moving forward and pulling out his medical bag from his suitcase and starting to treat Michael. He has training in that.
There is no earthly way you're going to be able to do much to treat this. He's losing blood profusely from all of the facial wounds. there's no way that you have enough bandage on you to even try to stop the bleeding.
That was one heck of a parrot, let me tell you.
Uh-huh.
Like, from your medical expertise, you think it's extremely unlikely you're going to be able to even get him to a hospital in time.
So what we're gonna do about this?
Can I buy him time so that we can get him to hospital?
You could, even with your best efforts, you doubt he would be able to make it there in the shape that he's in.
Is he going to make it?
What was that? I'm sorry?
I'm asking in character to Jonathan, is he going to make it?
His chances are not good. We need to hurry. He's pretty much picking him up to start heading towards the boat.
Okay.
Maybe we should tie him up just in case.
We can do that on the boat.
Okay, as you pick him up, you notice a slip of paper slips out of his pocket.
Huh?
I should grab this probably.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You should.
Because I have an advantage for certain things. So I pick it up. What's it say?
You just see that it has scribbled in it the truth about the cloud. 7 p.m.
7
The cat's
p.m.?
meow.
Really?
Sorry,
The cat's meow? What is this? The 70s?
Ross, repeat that because I didn't hear it.
Okay. The truth about the cloud. 7
Yeah.
p.m. The cat's meow.
Okay.
7 p.m. Cat's meow.
7 p.m. Cat's meow. Do any of you know what this means?
Is it name of place?
Sounds like it either sounds like a bar or a brothel.
Jonathan, do you know where this place is? If it is a place at all?
Have I ever heard of such a place?
I mean, you're not native to New York, so no, you don't know.
Don't say native.
I'm sorry.
But he is a Native American.
Yeah,
Anyway,
because of
native-
that, it's
Not native to this city.
Yes.
So he said that by the name it sounds like either a bar, either a pub or a brothel.
Maybe we should ask someone at the lounge.
Maybe after we are dealt with the current
Yes.
crisis.
Yes, I know.
Okay,
But it's gonna take us time to get back.
Okay, so yes, you are currently en route to the hospital on the boat with a dying Michael in tow.
I am doing my
question
best.
floating around your mind,
by the way,
and that's where the session will end.
by the way, just for flavor, I picked up the slashed remains of my parrot, and a single tear drips down my eye.
I'm sorry about your little friend there.
He was little bastard who drives people crazy, but it was my bastard parrot.
She pats Ivan on the shoulder.
Oh
Okay.
time for burial at sea. Chucks the parrot into the sea.
Oh,
With one hand, since you are most likely the one controlling this boat.
At this point, probably. All right. So, questions or comments about today's session?
It was a lot of fun, surprisingly, given that we were supposed to be miserable.
And educational.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I actually really like Gaston all of a sudden.
Yes, I'm also closer to my character, which I would like to point out that he just started off as guy who has a boat,
Yeah,
as you all know.
I feel compared to the others, I'm quite boring.
No, I'm pretty sure you'll find your stride soon. It's just that, it's just the beginning. I'm still finding my stride. I was going to talk to Manny, the pianist, at first, but because we were in a rush, I didn't want to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to give you more time with the NPCs.
Yeah, I know, but
Nature called and we're already running like super late as it is.
Yeah, I know.
Justify giving you like night 2 free reign. You'll get more chances to chat them up, certainly.
Well,
So
and
now
I must have, yeah.
Now
Wait,
that the power... Go on first.
No, you go on first.
Are you sure? Because it's quite long.
Okay, I'll go first then, if it's mine's shorter. I must admit that, I wasn't intending to basically, sleep with the first woman I met, but, I had to do it.
You haven't slept yet.
No,
So you haven't slept yet. You're trying to get there.
Yeah, I know. So, I'm actually invested in that.
Wow, okay, sure. The world
I
might
thought
be
you
ending in a couple of days, but go on, have a date. Have your romantic options.
Devar has been infected with Frenchiness.
Well, I have to be, because it's in the artistic, promiscuous nature of this character.
Oh, please. Priorities, man. Anyway, so now that the parrot is dead, much earlier than I thought it would die, but,
Yeah, that was just kind of... I mean, you put it in the harm's way. I gave you fair warning that could happen.
I know, but since I rolled a natural 20, I thought, hey, he's going to go there, do some damage, come back, because that's the typical tabletop RPG logic. Roll a natural 20, you can make all of your dreams come true. Essentially. Which he did, I guess, end the fight.
it made your nightmares come true.
You have been scarred from it. Well, actually, you haven't, but everyone else was.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, I
mad here.
I guess I took his death pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah, apparently I was more broken up about the bird and Michael.
Okay, listen, I'm going to give you a reason not to be broken up about the death of the bird, because he was actually a menace. A legitimate menace.
I more cared about losing sanity, to be honest.
Yes. It was pretty
come
clear
on,
that
this
the
is
bird
called
was a menace.
Cthulhu. If you weren't losing sanity, you weren't doing it right.
So I might as well give you the very brief rundown of its backstory. Basically, Ivan found this parrot atop the tree of a sinking ship in the middle of the ocean. All the people on the ship were dead, or somewhere drowned around the ship. The ship was almost entirely sunk. The implication is that the parrot drove everybody mad to the point that the entire boat fell apart. And it was left there all alone, just yelling incomprehensible, almost old one sort of language, spouting monstrosity after monstrosity, and it drives people mad. That was the gimmick of the parrot. So, since apparently my sanity is very sturdy, as I just demonstrated, I managed to get a hold of it, put a cloth around its beak, and just keep it around because, well, why not? It's a curiosity. Eventually I became...
It's a souvenir!
eventually became somewhat attached to it, but I was always wary of its inherent danger. I had some deep lore for the bird that I never really developed, and I will never have the chance to. It might have been touched by some sort of cosmic horror, maybe some cultist ceremony went wrong and the bird was involved. Something along those lines, yes. It basically is the equivalent of that human character in Darkest Dungeon that is crazy.
The caretaker.
I think so. It spouts violent, gritty, grim things.
Are you talking about the enemy, the madman?
The enemy, the madman. It's like the madman from the Darkest Dungeon, but in bird form. So he would cause others to go insane.
Well, at least anymore we don't have to worry about it driving us insane whenever feeding time comes.
That's sad too, because I had this idea that the voice he was going to have, the things he was going to say, I cannot reproduce the language of the old ones, so I would have just pretended that he was saying, "Well, Grounder, let's get that Sonic! Aha, aha!"
Oh, God.
That would drive everybody crazy, obviously.
Thank you.
Aha, aha!
Well, good. It's not coming back.
Yes, good thing.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
you dodged a bullet there. Let me
That
tell
would
you.
have changed the entire tone of the campaign instantly.
Yes. Okay, so anyway, so any other feedback?
Not right now. No, I'm still going to see where this goes, and plus I need to look into that thing that Michael mentioned. That would require me to look into.
Yeah, well, this is going to be a hurdle considering that our liaison pretty much is dead now. And we were the only ones present when that happened.
Yeah, we're gonna have to try and explain his death to
Ooh.
everyone else.
Yeah, 3
Oh,
foreigners and
yes.
1 Native American. It's going to be fun.
That's going to be
Killing a
Oh my-
government and a dead government official.
the real cosmic horror, the American justice system. Cough. Yes, it's not funny because it's true.
Alrighty, so I hope I have at least made this session entertaining.
Oh, it was extremely entertaining.
It was
Yes.
entertaining.
Yeah, it was interesting and entertaining. It has some nice hooks for characters, I get, and stuff.
And stuff.
Yeah, so I hope I'm just hoping I can stay sane and alive long enough to enjoy more of this.
Yeah, same, because my sanity is at 50%.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. You know that the half the fun of Call of Cthulhu is seeing how your character goes insane.
I know, but I would like to at least have a journey before I get there. Not
Well,
like
not
a bus stop journey.
I like this. A bus stop to insanity.
Stop to insanity. Oh man, so that should be the title of this session.
What, bus stop to insanity?
Well, they don't have. Did they have buses in the 1920s?
They might have had trolleys.
Yeah.
A trolley
Clang,
stop
clang,
to
clang with the
insanity.
trolleys.
A tram stop to insanity. A tram called misery.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm glad you guys are getting so into it, especially when again it's only like a 4-session campaign.
But it's good specifically because it is short. Lord knows we've had our share of long, meandering campaigns that don't really go anywhere for a lot of sessions and then end abruptly. I'm not
this
talking
one
about
has to be
yours.
Yeah, well, it was definitely mine. Anyway, so this one is much more concise.
Concise, yes. I like it. I like it. And I like talking about history and cinema and the culture relating to the 1920s. Fascinating period, really, for the good and the bad reasons.
Yeah.
Correct.
It is a very interesting period sort of thing.
Hopefully I'll have time to better integrate sling. That was basically something I started doing today before.
Yes.
we started, so.
I am looking forward for Ivan to watch a 1924 silent film at the cinema.
With Felix at the beginning.
Yes, it had better have Felix at the beginning.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been enjoyable to the people out in YouTuber land. And join us for the next session where the plot will undoubtedly thicken and minds may begin to get lost.
Yes, that.
Kathy, give me back sanity.
By the
Thank
way,
you. Yes?
when you were saying lost, the latter part of lost was cut off, so you lost, essentially. It's not really a joke, it's just an observation.
Okay, we have stopped the streaming, so yeah.
Okay.
Before
Okay.
we go, patient, doctor, I get heartburn every time I eat birthday cake. Doctor, next time, take off the candles.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay,
so
it's
this
super
I'm
late,
going to
guys.
say these jokes are old even for the 1920s, and that's saying a lot. Well, yes, good. I guess that is where we part ways to the next adventure into the ghoulish depths of the mind. Yes, that's
Alright.
my cue for cutting off my own recording. So good night, folks, and
Yeah,
have
good
a
Yeah, take
good
care.
night.
Good night,
Bye.
good morning, whatever.
No one shall
Everything.
sleep tonight because it's
I'm
morning.
going to sleep now.
Yes.
Bye.
Okay, see
It's
you,
still
Ross.
night
Bye.
for me.
Okay. Good
Ross,
night.
yes, Ross loses
He's already
sanity.
gone.
Well,
Ross
talking
lost
to
his
you.
sanity.
Ross's sanity. Ross, no, wait, lost Ross's sanity.
I
Oh,
mean,
gosh.
Mia and Gaston lost sanity. The rest of you did not.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was expecting to have lost sanity because I have a disadvantage in that.
No, you were lucky. Also, I expect to lose something over the death of my precious birdie companion, but no, just stone cold Steve Austin on that one.
Well,
Yeah,
you said
stone
that the bird
cold.
was a menace.
The bird was a menace, but it was my menace.
Well, the funny thing about my character is that I have both advantage and disadvantage when it comes to sanity, because I roll a 2d10 when rolling to resist sanity damage and take the better one, but when I take sanity damage, I take extra damage.
Ah, well, that's
So it's a
bad.
double-edged sword.
Double-edged
Yeah.
sword, my favorite. I mean,
Yeah.
not my favorite.
So-
In
so
reality,
that's-
in metaphor, the double-edged sword is great, but in reality, it cuts you on both ends.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the reason why I read the notes because apparently my mind is much stronger against forbidden knowledge. So if he wrote something down that was forbidden, I would have advantage against it.
Oh, because you're a writer.
Yes.
So, you write horror stories, gothic horror? Are you the female Lovecraft?
Well, here's the thing. Originally, when I pitched the idea to Ross, she hasn't even wrote her first book yet. She was trying to write a horror novel as her first novel, but then Ross basically rolled and said, "Nope, you've basically written a book." It's like I have.
I remember that, and I like
Maybe-
the idea that I was already reading the book in character. Just-
Maybe, I mean, it could be that either A, you co-wrote a book, or you basically did something simple, maybe?
Well, let's not mince words here. If she had actually co-written a book, she would not have gotten any of the credit. Most likely the man she was working for would have gotten all the credits.
Yeah, you
It's-
got a point there. 1920s and all.
I mean, we keep saying 1920s, but we would easily say 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so on. And
yeah,
so
yeah,
forth.
I know, but it's in the context of the game we're at, in the year, well, the era. So, you know, that's what I'm saying it as.
But I like the idea of injecting lots of period-sensitive information and details into our campaign. It makes the world feel more vivid and organic, and it makes me get more into it. Yes, even knowing about all the incredibly
Horrible
incredibly
Yeah, the dark
awful
parts of history.
racism, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was part of the periods. Being a part
mean,
of it makes
The
it
truth
more...
is that racism is part of every period. Today, yesterday, etc.
I
Well,
like
it
to
goes
think.
all the way- It goes all the way back to our ancestors, even when they were tribes. Because if you weren't a part of their tribe, they didn't like you.
We are a tribalistic sort. which
Yeah.
i-
Though,
We-
to be honest, I like to think there's less of that these days.
no,
I
it
still
depends.
think
It
it's
really,
It's there, but
okay.
it's
It
not
really
as strong as
depends.
it once was.
Well, Devar, it really depends on which side of the planet you happen to live in.
I guess
Because-
it's more stronger in America, huh?
No, I was talking about, for example, how things are bad for people of the LGBTQ spectrum in countries in the Middle East,
Yeah,
for
I was gonna
example.
Oh yeah, and Russia.
And
Yeah.
Russia and China are two big, massive social and political
Clusterfuck.
minefields. I was
Yeah.
about to say minefields, but yes, you get the idea. And the problem is that they are the most influential countries out there, politically and socially speaking, next to America, which is another country that has its fair share of problems. And if basically everything the leader of the free world at any administration really does or says, the consequences ripples throughout everywhere else in the world. I can still remind myself how my society looks around the time of the Bush administration, for example. So, yes, not a fun thought for anybody who's both American and not.
Yeah.
Yep.
So anyway, this has been fun, and for the record, this is still on record.
Yeah.
Call it
It's
a
it's
fun-
one reason why I learned about a lot of art, especially surrealist art, so that I could basically try and integrate that into the campaign too.
No, I'm saying that I'm still recording. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, all right.
All right.
I'm going to stop in about a minute, but this was a fun bonus to add to this campaign. I like to think that in spite of all the issues that we have, all the fumbling with our words, which happen too often than I would really like it to, we still
Yeah.
managed to provide some sort of insightful insight without even rolling for it. I was
Yeah.
about to say. Before I stumbled all over my words, as always. So I think that's a sort of good result. You know, we had fun and we learned things.
Yeah. We certainly
Fun
did.
for the whole family, and parrots die.
Well, the funny thing is that I was really hoping that Jonathan would have been among the first in the initiative order when it seems that, sudden combat! Because aside from maybe Ivan, he's the only one who actually knows how to fight, and the Native American martial arts are very heavy on grapples and grappling, so he
Do
could have
you
a pretty
seriously?
well...
Do you seriously believe that Ross would have allowed grapple rolls in Call of Cthulhu? Can you imagine? Suddenly
I don't-
Cthulhu turns into Pathfinder.
I mean, maybe when it he fits the character, because due to his heritage and life, Jonathan has been in quite a few fisticuffs fights, and he does have a knife.
Fisticuffs, that's great to know. You know, I actually wanted to have my own weapon, and it was going to be organically related to my career as a smuggler. I wanted a set number of Molotovs.
Here's
On
what
me.
here's what I was going to do. I was going to be a smuggler / occultist who was looking for an Necronomicon.
So exactly what you can't be in a Call of Cthulhu campaign.
Yes. As Ross
Yeah.
put it, I created a villain, not a protagonist.
Yes, pretty much.
Uh,
So I had this whole recurring gag pegged out for Molotov, in which I said Molotov every time I wanted to use a Molotov, and everybody would say, "No, not now, Molotov now," and then finally Molotov. Yes, it's the time to use a Molotov. Finally, pay off.
I did think about having a, but then I thought to myself that if combat was not going to be a thing, that I should try and avoid it as much as possible.
Yes, but then
Yeah,
Ross forces you into combat, so much for that.
I mean, maybe it's good that he didn't give you those Molotovs because of prohibition. You'd get arrested.
Yes. No, I think that would have made it more interesting because now not only I have a powerful weapon which is also in limited supplies, it's a double-edged sword because I could get caught and people could find out that I had alcohol with me. So, yes, that would have been more interesting for a variety of reasons, but alas, it was not meant to
I
be.
would have been like, you've been holding out on me.
I mean, considering that my character is also a pharmacist and a doctor, there is alcohol available to make
You wouldn't have any wine in that medical bag, would you?
No, rubbing alcohol.
Well,
Done.
okay, so now seriously, I'm going to have to end this and go to bed because it's
like really late.
It's literally 6 in the morning for me.
Yeah.
So
Here
So-
it's 7, so
Good night to you, and good morning to everybody else.
Good morning.
yes, good morning to you all, and thank you for sticking by. And this is bonus content you will not hear on the actual stream. Haha!
Aha!
it will be our little dirty secret.
Yes, a very poorly kept secret.
Yes.
Indeed. Well, again, and finally, good night. And let us all heed the call of Cthulhu.